Okay. Well, I'm going to close the door back there. So every day when y'all come in, you really want to start on time. There'll be a sign-in sheet, which won't be as onerous as this. It'll just be your name, but we do want you to make note of your arrival time. There will be a instructor evaluation. This is a direct requirement. And I've personalized all of them so that you know who the teacher was when you fill it out. And if there are any other handouts, we usually put them in the back. Inside your, so Takia, have you done the sign-in? Yes. Inside your book, you have a couple of things. I'm going to tell you that this is less than helpful only because Keller Williams is making tons of wonderful changes to our technology and what's on the website, and many of the references in here, watch this video, go here and read this, it's not there anymore. Okay, so it's okay. And most of the stuff in at least the first and second day, Diane or I have already done for you. I would put permission back behind the script book. Now the script book is highly valuable. Just look in the table of content for, they've got all these different scenarios of what do I say when they say blank. So we will be spending more time with scripts later today, but I just want you to see, you're like, where are those scripts? You have a whole packet here.
There's a bunch online too, right?
Yes, yes. As a matter of fact, everything in this book is online.
Okay.
But we want you to take notes. I was saying that if you don't want to lug the big hunker every time, you can just bring the particular section. But we're going to make sure we always know which one we're doing because we changed the order. Just orient to the book.
Okay.
Now, I ripped this out, but you see, do you have it in yours? In the front of, no, it'd be in the front of your book. Lift your toolkit up.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow, I call it my sheet of many colors, and most of these you will have done by the end of Ignite. So we can look at this a little later, but as you accomplish, I just want you to check in the completed as we go along. Like all of y'all have a password sheet. You've gotten a key fob, right? I'm assuming, hi, Andrea. You have received business cards that Diane ordered for you, right? So this is sort of your checklist to keep going. So,
Are we missing a few folks?
well, I was expecting Aretha Townsend, but the other ones were not going to come today. They're coming in like now. Krista had done session 1, so she will jump in on Wednesday, she later, and then 4 other agents that have taken it once, are going to be popping in where we go.
Gotcha. So I just wanted to introduce myself before Stacy continues. I'm Bonnie Gusky. I'm the assistant team leader. I work with Stacy on the training program to make sure that everybody is well trained when they come here, because the 2 things we hear most frequently is that people want good training and good support. Would you agree? Right. So it is our job to do both of those gigantic tasks. And if you ever need anything, know that my door is open and you can come see me. I'm the assistant team leader and also a business coach and director of career growth and development. So if there's anyone that you know from, say, your class or friends of yours that might want to explore what their options are at Keller Williams, please come see me. Be happy to contact them and work through you for that. And did you want to do introductions, or have you done those already?
No, well, that's what was going to be
Okay.
next. I want to just clarify that, when you were taking your real estate course, there was strict rule, no recruiting. And great, but that class is over, so now if you know what Bonnie's referring to, people that you met, you give them their contact information to Bonnie and she reaches out. That's not recruiting during class because the class is over. Got it?
Board grounds are off limit to realtors. I mean, we can't go in and say, gosh, come explore us. So, but like Stacy said, the gloves come off at the end, but we still can't. That's like sacred ground. Otherwise, can you imagine? People would be like constantly attacked. So, it's like, that's neutral ground. That's, it's like church, the war can't go beyond the doors. But that being said, we did want to do introductions this morning to know a little bit more about you. And I guess I'll continue since
Sure.
I started. Hi,
Angela.
how are you, Angela? So I have been in this business for almost 40 years, give or take, and in probably every aspect of real estate, except for building high rises. That would be the one exception. My late husband and I used to do a lot of land development. In other words, like build subdivisions. We've built 5 of our own homes, did investment properties, industrial real estate, property management, and at one time was the largest developer of condominiums in the state of Michigan. So high production. And my piece of it, I had a simultaneous or dual career. I was a big piece of that business for the marketing and demographic studies and design, and then I had a separate career in sales, training, market management, recruiting and hiring, and then ultimately coaching. I've had my own business in coaching and marketing, and then when I joined Keller Williams, I've done both commercial real estate and residential real estate. So, one-stop shopping. And then usually what we like to do is we like to talk about one thing that you might not guess about you. So when we do introductions, tell us either an unusual hobby or any hobby or something that we might not guess about you, which will kind of make it fun to get to know each other a little more. People look at me and they think pearls, but the truth is I love the outdoors. I love adventure. I'm really horrible at sports. I'm excruciatingly competitive, but not in a sports way. I'm a NAUI certified scuba diver. I love to dive. I love that kind of adventure, but you'll never catch me jumping out of an airplane. I can promise you that. I will definitely die before that could ever take place. And I'm serious. It truly would. I love speed. I love to be pinned back like in a race car, but I don't want to do it like in a rocket ship. What else might you not guess? Love to ride horses. Just love to be outdoors. I just really, truly enjoy nature. That's me. So let's turn it over to you, Stacy.
Okay, I'm a native Atlantan, and which I love living in my hometown because I just see so many people I know. It's just wonderful. Of course, growing up in a large hometown, there's lots of people. It's not the same as a little small hometown where everybody's in everybody's business, thankfully. I joined real estate 5.5 years ago, and before that, I've done all sorts of careers, and I have 2 sons that are grown and out now, but so I was able to stay home with them for a time. But I've been a teacher and been in marketing, worked for the state Republican Party, done a lot of fundraising, and last was with a technology company. Our company developed the OnStar for Mercedes, which is called Embrace. And so that was all about cellular connectivity, and Verizon was the carrier, so I learned a ton about CDMA and GSM, all this cellular talk. So that was an opportunity for somebody who was a poli-sci major to really expand in a different direction. I love teaching and nurturing, and you know, I have met with you all a little bit and will continue to do so. I like the heights. I really dig parasailing, although I've only done it about 3 times. Where you're attached to a speedboat, but you go way up in the air, you know, and you get the good view.
Yeah, no,
But and I like zip lining. I also
I do like zip lining too. Yeah.
And I sometimes enjoy watching professional bull riding. So there's a bit of a cowgirl in me. I
You
love.
like to watch bull riding?
I've been to 2
Interesting.
live events at the Gwinnett Arena.
I've ridden
just
a mechanical bull event.
no, and I have a ton of respect for cowboys and what it takes to do that. So,
Interesting.
yes, so, I know. So, Takia, why don't you tell us about yourself?
I'm Takia Stone. I'm originally from a small town in Michigan called Albion, Michigan.
I know exactly where that is.
Do you? Really?
Yeah.
That's shocking.
From Michigan.
What part?
Just outside Detroit.
Okay.
But I was born in South Bend, so we used to make that trek, and we'd go through Albion, and always stopped at Satellite Hamburgers.
Yep.
Is it still there?
Nope.
Oh, dang. It was
It
wonderful.
is not. It's hardly anything there now.
Oh.
I've lived here since I was a senior in high school, so I'm a Georgia peach now. Currently.
We've got a few Michiganders, by the way. I'll introduce them to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I go home often. I go home often. Currently, I am a project manager for Sprint, but I also work for Delta part-time as a gate agent. So I work there 1 day a week.
But it'll give you practice talking to people.
You know, I was just thinking
That's
that.
Great.
Yes.
Holy
And
smokes.
can you wear your real estate tag?
I know.
Probably not, but
I wish I could, no. Well, before we can wear other things on our vests, but since we have a new uniform back in May, they now wear purple.
yes.
And so we can't have anything at all on our uniforms.
Beautiful eggplant color.
I like it.
I do too.
I like it a lot. So I passed my exam in September, and it was a long journey. That exam was no joke. And let me see, I have 2 grandchildren.
Oh my goodness, now there's
I
something we
love-
can get to.
Definitely.
I love spending time with them, so.
How old are they, Takia?
2, they're both 2. The girl, she'll be 3 in January, and the boy won't be 3 until April. But it's really exciting. It's like being a grandparent is completely different from being a mom. So you can spoil them and then you can send them home.
That's what they say.
I love it. I love it. I love it. But that's about it for me.
So, do they live here?
They do. They live in Atlanta. I live here in Dunwoody, and they live less than 10 minutes from me. And they're actually my 2 older daughters. They're actually neighbors. So.
Oh, how
Yeah.
That
nice.
sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's perfect.
Good. Okay, so besides the grandchildren that we wouldn't have guessed, something else.
Something else. I love basketball. Like, I can watch kids play basketball, high school, college.
Did you play?
I did not play. I ran track. But I've always loved to watch basketball. I can watch any basketball.
I am sorry.
Oh.
Speaking of basketball.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of basketball.
Well, good.
Awesome. Andrea Jones.
Hello, everybody. So I'm Andrea Jones. I go by AJ. So
Oh, good
yes,
to know.
yes, everybody can call me AJ. Let's see. I am originally from Birmingham, Alabama, and I moved here well, this is part of the something you may not know about me. I moved here because I was working for AT&T, and like most large companies, they downsized us, and you could move to Atlanta and still keep your job. I was extremely nervous about it because just so much was going on. Me and my husband had just gotten married, and I didn't know if it was a good idea to just up and move, but he was super supportive, and he moved as well. And 2 years into it, I realized I didn't like AT&T anymore, and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be my own boss.
Right.
I do love AT&T. I just didn't want to be confined just to that one particular job. Like, I wanted to grow. And I decided that I was going to go to real estate school. Obviously, I passed. Here I am at Keller Williams. And I'm really excited about it. Something that you may not know about me, I have high ambitions of being successful. Like, it's one of those things when I hear people talk about their success stories and how they made it, like, it gives me a rush to know that I've crossed paths with people that have been in my same shoes and have become successful. So that's pretty much that. I, sometimes just want to see myself, like, where will I be in 5 years? But I don't want to rush it because I know every day is a process. But that's pretty much that. I have 2 sisters.
You're forward focused.
I am very forward focused. I have 2 sisters. I have a younger brother. I've been married for 3 years now. No kids yet. And let's see. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. I also should have mentioned that any one of you can make an appointment with me to do your DISC profile review. Be happy to do that. Good stuff.
Andrew?
Alright, I'm Andrew Nesbitt. I'm from Destin, Florida, in the Panhandle. I just graduated from Florida State the beginning of August. Got my real estate license over the summer too, graduated, or passed that in September. So I'm here now. Let's see, I love the water. I love to surf whenever there's waves in Destin. Wakeboard, all of that. I'm really into football. Go Steelers. That's my team.
Wow.
Something you don't know, you couldn't guess about me. I can solve a Rubik's Cube.
Go, Andrew!
I bow down. I bow down. Wow.
Let's see, what else is there to know about me? I've got one brother, one stepbrother, one stepsister. I live with my dad in Ackworth right now until I get my own place. My brother's in commercial real estate, sort of brought me along to real estate.
Where is he?
He's at DLC Management in Buckhead, so that's cool. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about me.
You were sad on Saturday.
On Saturday? What do you mean?
I had it in my mind that you went to Auburn, but you just said you went to Florida State.
Florida State, it was a bye week, so no loss this week. Hasn't been a good season though.
I know.
Now, how did you come by the Steelers? I've got to know.
So my dad is from West Virginia, and there it's either you're a Bengals fan or a Steelers fan, and he grew up in the 70s when the Steelers were winning.
Yeah, you might as well line it up.
Exactly. So he's a Steelers fan, and I've always been a Steelers fan. So
Interesting.
yep,
That's
we're
awesome.
turning our season around. 3-2-1,
All
Super
right.
Bowl bound.
Go, Andrew.
Believe, just believe.
Oh,
That's
that's
right.
Mark my words. We'll be there.
All right, all right, I hope you're right.
Oh, Miss Angela Tate.
I'm Angela. I'm not new actually. I did Ignite in May and I'm doing it again now. I got licensed in March. I have 3 small children. They're 3, 7, and 10. Before I did this, I was a preschool teacher. And something you might not know about me, my late husband and I used to own a tattoo shop.
Oh,
wow.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
How many tattoos
When,
do you have?
when she's not wearing long sleeves.
Yeah, probably maybe 10, maybe. Yeah.
Marie Moore in here would probably be you.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh, yeah.
Gotta meet her.
Before we go to Priya, I just want you to speak to what sort of real estate activity that you've done, since you took Ignite. Open houses, showing property.
Yeah, I've done a lot of open houses. I've shown properties. I'm working with 2 buyers right now. I've actually done a rental. So I have a couple of rental clients. Y'all ask me about that later.
I've heard nightmares about the rental.
It's a bit much, but it's good experience. Like, it was my first
Right.
experience taking clients out and showing them things. Happen to be a rental, but I mean that's a good experience. Helps you
Low risk.
Yeah. I've done first-time homebuyer seminars, so I've done 2, and I'm doing another one in November, and that's a really good way to get clients because they're the captive audience, and then at the end of it, they kind of see you as an expert. So then you kind of link back with them and talk to them and check up on them, and you can add them to your database. Whee!
So yes, all good things.
When in November is the?
November 7th and 14th. I'll send you the information
Okay,
before I leave.
great.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, we invite everyone to come back and what we call audit Ignite, because you get your credit your first time through. If you're new to real estate, this checks off the box. It says you took a post-license accredited course. You have to be here 10 out of the 12 of them to receive full credit for it. And if you miss more than 10 and up to missing 4, I think it is, the maximum you can miss, you can make it up the next time.
The next time we offer it.
Put those credits together,
Right.
just in case something were to, go awry or sideways for you. And also you get 9 bonus CE credits for the course as well, in addition to it checking the box, because it's actually longer than 25-hour course, so you do get.
So yes, there's a
The box checks
misunderstanding
plus 9.
that because it's called a 25-hour class that you get 25 hours of CE, and that is
You can
That's
imagine
incorrect.
if you only need 36 in 4 years and this checked off the box for 25 of them, you wouldn't get enough CE classes over
Yeah,
that
if you just
period
take
of
one
time.
online, you get 0 CE credits. They just check the box that you've done it. But our class is more involved,
Yeah.
so.
And we do
You'll get
invite
mine.
you to come back then and audit. Now, if it's been a year between classes, you'll actually receive 33 CE credits. So, but it's gotta be a year in between taking it. That being said, it's great to come back and audit the classes because the first time you hear it, Angela can speak to this, it's like drinking from a fire hose. It's a lot of information, and the next time through, or even the third time through, you'll hear it with a completely different set of ears, and you'll hear new things that you weren't able to take in because there was just so much coming at you. Your sponge can only absorb so much. So,
You will never stop learning.
great idea
Right.
to take it again.
We need
Yeah.
to introduce Priya Brown.
Priya. Priya's actually snuck
Hi,
in here.
guys.
She's gonna teach one of the segments today.
Right?
My name is Apriya. I was raised here in Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Long Beach, California. I've been in real estate for 14 years, since August. I sell about 20 homes a year on average. What thing that you don't know about me?
Well, family background or.
Oh, okay. I'm the oldest of 3 girls. And we grew up in Fayetteville, Georgia, which is like a little south of the airport. I went to Catholic school, a school here called St. Pius, and then I went to Clark Atlanta University for undergrad. And I got my real estate license before attending college, and then I went full-time in 2009 after moving back from New York in what could be the worst market ever. It was a good learning experience for me. Now I specialize, so I love to travel. And my niche market is people abroad that want to invest here in the States. So that's where I do like marketing and stuff for, aside from my sphere. My dad was in real estate in Fayetteville and new construction, which is kind of how I got started in what I do. Something that you might not know about me is I'm very caring. So I have a nonprofit through real estate. It's afforded me to start that, and we're in the life skills space. And so I work with kids like 50% of my time when I'm not doing real estate. And through Keller Williams, they've also started, they have a life skills program, which I've adopted through my nonprofit, and we go and teach kids, and I'll also be talking to you guys about that today, because we have something coming up on Saturday. But nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, thank you for being here, Priya. I'm going to take my leave so you can start class.
We need to do
I
this.
think we, wait, you can sign.
Okay.
Teach one or two of the classes. Stacy and I together will teach make and receive offers, and may or may not be part of the listing, maybe? Teach the listing segment. I don't know what you got on the slate for. So you'll see me more than once. But
Yes.
do drop by my office and make an appointment to review your DISC profile. I'd be happy to do that with you. It's about a 45-minute appointment. And it's interesting because not only will you learn about yourself, my goal is to teach you about how to work with people who are the exact opposite of you.
And not let them drive you crazy.
But it helps you to understand people if you're right-brained or if you're left-brained. We process things very differently, but it will help you understand what the needs are of your exact opposites when you go on a listing presentation or even work with buyers on a consultation. So it's very eye-opening. Not only, we know ourselves pretty well, it's usually not a big surprise, but it's working with our opposites that's, I think, the biggest takeaway of that.
You guys definitely should do that. It'll help you figure out how you can do your best job at this job.
Yeah, it really is. I think you win more contracts and smoother. So,
Yeah.
nice to meet you all, and I'll see you again, I'm sure. See you later.
Okay, we have a, just like doing those instructor evaluations, we have a requirement. I get to read this to you. So we're not, our office is not an accredited school, so we work with a third party called Outfront Education. So after we take Ignite, and I have to fulfill their paperwork requirements so that we can get your credit. Outfront Education is approved by the Georgia Real Estate Commission to offer sales pre-license, broker pre-license, post-license, and continuing education courses. The school code is 6333 and the renewal date is December 31st, 2020. And the school policies are located on our website at outfronteducation.com. This program meets the requirement of the Georgia Real Estate Commission for the 25-hour Georgia Real Estate Sales Post-License course or 33 hours of continuing education credit. As Bonnie said, it has to be a full year in between taking them. In order to receive credit for this course, you must be on time and present for the entire 36 hours of instruction. Once the instructor begins, you will not be allowed in the classroom. Your completion information will be electronically transmitted to the Georgia Real Estate Commission via their online course completion portal at the end of the course upon successful completion. Entrance qualifications and standards of completion will not be based on a student's race, color, sex, religion, national origin, familial status, or handicap. No recruiting for employment opportunities for any real estate brokerage firm is allowed in this class or on the school premises. Any effort to recruit should be reported, etc. So everyone is clear that these people represent GREC, Georgia Real Estate Commission, and we have to follow their rules. So, you can keep this, you can toss this. But the important thing is, yes, be on time if something really comes up, send me a text, that, you know, that you're running late. But that's why on the sign-in sheet, where's the sign-in sheet? Andrew, do you have the sign-in sheet?
I'm sorry,
That I put arrival time, you can, so many tardies, which is like 15 minutes late, and we're supposed to not let you graduate, it's like 4. And you will, every class is valuable, but it's, so we want you to come to everyone. If you do miss 2, you can still sit for the final exam on the final day and graduate. So I want you to get out. Do you have your Ignite calendars? I know Andrew had his, so I want to make sure. Well, you can go. Are you online or are you just charging? Okay. I want you to log into, or do you have the October calendar like Andrea has? AJ.
I have it at home.
Okay. mykw.kw.com. Because I want to make sure that you understand it's not just showing up to the specific Ignite classes, and go ahead and log in when you're in. Because we have supplemental classes that are really, really beneficial to you. For instance, on Thursday of this week, we're bringing in Kevin Theobald from FMLS to teach Matrix Basic, which is something on your sheet of many colors. You can just click X, whatever. Oh, you have to go through those steps. Okay. On your sheet of many colors, the purple one, yeah, you'll see that we Matrix Basics, we always want you to take, and you will get 3 free hours of CE credit. So but that's not an Ignite class. So I'm just making the point that we need you to come every day if you can, because there's something going on. Let's see. So this week and tomorrow instead of a regular team meeting, we're having our vendor fair. So our preferred vendors, home inspectors, home warranty providers, carpet cleaners, pest control, all sorts. They will be here and you can talk to them. They also have free giveaways. You bring business cards, drop it in their little bowls, and who knows what you might get. Let's see, I think let's just take it one week at a time. I am going out of town this weekend for a reunion of sorts to Chapel Hill, where I went to college, University of North Carolina. And so I won't be here on Friday, but Jennifer Huckabee, do you need anything?
I need a pen. I keep mine prepared.
Get it back. I've got one more in here. So, Takia, are you up?
Yep, I'm on the calendar, so where I need to be.
Yes. Marvelous. Now are you on your calendar? Okay, how did you get there? I go there.
I went to the live calendar.
That's another one. But that's okay. The MC Market Center 247, click on that one. I mean, that was just another calendar, but not.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I do want, scroll up, say no, make a change. I want you to quickly select email for this section and this section, otherwise you won't receive posts when agents say, I've got an open house, or does anybody want to sit at this open house?
Right.
You want to get those.
Yes.
And that one. one, and then I think scroll down and update. Yep, click update. Then, scroll down a bit. Yeah, back to my preferences. One more thing. Okay, why don't we change that to weekly? There we go. Okay, back up here, and let's go back to start. And view calendar. Okay. So that should mirror what AJ has, the paper copy of the calendar for. So do you have either one of those October calendars?
Not on me, but yeah, I do have it.
Yeah, I didn't mean on you. I mean, you have one at home or?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So the other big thing, and we're gonna get into our actual curriculum lesson. There's some big rocks that we want you, big concepts that we want to get across to you, and this is both for your success in this course and your success in your career. Now, Takia, you have another job, but
Two other jobs.
Two other jobs, but there's some flexibility.
Absolutely.
Do you have another job?
Mm-hmm.
Remind me.
Enterprise.
Okay, but you don't. Okay, and you have 3 kids. Not
She has
sad.
3 more jobs.
So the biggest challenge in real estate is being disciplined with your time. Because everything is flexible. I mean, yes, you make appointments, but when you do things, you are your own boss. But that can be to your detriment. So I know I've heard Bonnie say, and I've heard Gary Keller say, if you want to be successful, you need to treat this like it is your 9 to 5, 8:30 to 4:30, whatever job, and put 5 days a week into it. And I will add to that, and that means get up, shower, get dressed, go to work, whether it's at home or here in the office, and yes, take lunch, yes, take breaks, but we can have a definite end time, and that depends on whether you have children you got to pick up or grandchildren you got to pick up. It is so easy to fritter away hours, days, weeks, and you ain't got no business coming. You've got nobody that you're working with. I'm telling you, it happens, and you all invested in taking the real estate class, doing what you had to do to pass the school exam and the state exam. So let's get successful in the career. So the biggest foundational concept is that you've got to find your own business. It's especially at this juncture of your career where you're brand new. It's highly unlikely that somebody is just gonna call you up and go, "Hey Jay, I didn't know that you were in real estate, but would you help me sell my house?" I mean, so what we have to do is convince everyone we know that we're now a licensed professional realtor, and so that means talking to people and getting back in touch with people and of course meeting new people Takia is my colleague at Sprint. You know, so, and you may have to tread carefully on that. I don't know if that would be a problem if you start telling them.
No, they were like my whole team supporting me through my class and everything. So
Perfect.
they're awesome.
So, I know AJ wants to be successful. So let's talk about two big things we want to cover. Let me see if I can find a good marker. We have something called your big why. Obviously, it's why you do this. And the second one would be, what is your goal, at least for the next year? How much would you like to bring home? I mean, we could start gross and work our way down. So with the big why, and you're going to have an opportunity in the book to actually noodle on that. Sometimes I would venture to say that Angela's big why is her 3 children. She mentioned that her husband passed away, so she's a sole provider. Not, but like Andrew, young, doesn't have kids. He may not have, but his could be. I mean, he's starting his post-college career. Everybody's why is equally valid. It's sometimes it comes out of sort of tragedy, sometimes it's just out of necessity, and sometimes it's out of just your dreams. I have heard people talk about wanting to make enough money so that they can enable all of their nieces and nephews to go and graduate from college. So it can be sort of philanthropic, help, you know, family members. I mean, so the sky's the limit. So, Apriya, do you have just a big why?
Well, sorry, I haven't learned names yet, but kind of
AJ.
Like you were saying. So you know how you get emotionally attached anytime you hear someone else's success story, or like you feel it like in the pit of your stomach. Your big why is supposed to be like large enough to motivate something like that, regardless of, you know, the current circumstance. So
Right, like I can't give up.
Transaction, right?
I gotta figure this out.
Yeah, but it's got to be something like powerful enough to drive your business. So like, is it like so under my big why, I have a lot of other little goals that I would like to achieve. But essentially your big why does have to be large enough to where it's kind of like somewhat of a lifetime achievement. Like you feel like once you reach there, like you've fulfilled a portion of what you're trying to do with
Right.
your life.
Think legacy. What, you know, when you get to the end of the road, what do you want? Want to have accomplished, people to know you by, and it doesn't have to be just money, you know, but money can fund a lot of things so that you can then do volunteer work or philanthropy. So, I don't know how y'all feel, if it's a private thing. Do y'all, if anybody doesn't want to talk about what their big why, what they think it is, and we're gonna, for homework, I want you to really think about it and tell me on Wednesday for sure. But anybody have the beginnings of a big why they're thinking?
I'm sure everyone can kind of relate on, just like Apriya, just like Apriya was saying, you know, you want to me, what I take from that is you want to be proud of yourself. You know, you want to reach those goals, and when you get there, you're like, yes, I did it. But mine is, you know, I've always wanted to do real estate. I've been trying to take the time out to take the class, like, you know, I'm so crazy busy. And now I'm in a space where I'm flexible with my time and I can make my own schedules. And so my daughter was like, you're going to take this with my daughter's 26 and put my oldest 2 daughters through. And I still have a 10-year-old at home. Got to get her through. So, you know, just want to get to a place where you can lay your head down at night as a single mother raising kids and feel comfortable with where you are in life, like being able to take care of your children. Or, I mean, and even a man, or, you know, just being a person, you want to feel that you've done your life some justice.
Done your best, and also not be worried about where your next meal's coming from, or how to pay the bills.
Like, what if I lose my job? What, you know, you want to have that money stacked up, you know, anything can happen. Anything can happen, so you want to always have, you know,
Savings.
Exactly.
Definitely gonna.
Have an escape plan.
Good. So, AJ, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, my big why, I've always wanted to be my own boss. Like, even when I was younger, if it's something that
Are you just bossy?
I am. I'm just bossy. I really am, but not in a bad way. I'm just the type of person, like, I want to take charge. I want to, you know, come to me, you know, let's work this thing out. But it's just something kind of bigger than me. I come from a family of business owners. My grandfather, he owned a grocery store back in my hometown. My uncle owned a car sales lot. Unfortunately, he was tragically killed last year. And that was one of the things that it really kind of opened my eyes when I realized, like, you know, you've always said you want to do your own thing. You want to be in charge of your own business. You know, why won't you do it? And after he passed away, it was just one of those things like, you know, life is just too short. Just step out and do it. So here I am. You know, it's just something that it's time. Like, this is the time. Everything with the stars and the moon has aligned. And I know, you know, for once in my life, I'm doing the right thing at the right moment. So what was your uncle's name?
His
name was Daryl Petty, and he owned a car lot.
So did you call him Uncle Daryl?
I sure did. How did you know that?
No, I just think Uncle Daryl is an inspiration.
Yeah, he is.
And a motivation.
Yeah.
And he's watching you.
Yeah. For sure.
You're going to make him proud.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely.
Good. All right, Andrew, any thoughts?
I'm just ready to start my career. I want to, move out of my dad's house.
Yeah, that's
a big why.
Yeah, I just want to be like self-sufficient.
Be on your own.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
That's a good why.
Overnight, I mean, when we come back, I encourage you to think after that. What would be your next? I mean, because that, I understand that's the first thing you want to take care of. But once you're really into it, what might be some goals? So, just tips.
Pretty much, I want to make sure that they don't have to want for anything, or I don't like to say we can't afford it or can't do that. I don't like to say those things, so I'm trying to make it so I don't have to say those things.
Awesome. My big why, my boys are grown and out self-sufficient. They're about to be 27 and about to be 30. So financially they're not dependent on me anymore. But like Takia, I would like to have that extra money that if I want to help with the grandchildren, be able to help them as they move through their adult years. I also have a real burning desire to be financially independent all through my senior years, retirement years, so they don't have to step in. They would and they could, but I'd like to be able to self-support all the way through to the end, so I need to sock some more away. So, yes, and I still sell too. But, so mine is, down the road, but my business coach says I need to get a visual that I could put everywhere that's, I don't know, an old lady in a wheelchair rolling into the nursing home. No, we don't want that. So, oh goodness. So then we're gonna get back to the dollar goal in just a second. This is gonna be brief, but if you want to follow along with me, page 9 and 10, and like I said, we're going to go very quickly over this. There's something called the 6 personal perspectives, and they're really beliefs that gear you towards success. There's a question, what is it that differentiates those who achieve at the highest level from those who don't seem to accomplish as much? And Gary boiled it down to their mindset, their attitudes, and their approach to life. And I can speak to the approach to life, meaning coming from contribution that you are there to benefit your clients. It's not self. Those who are just self, it's all about me, people figure that out pretty quickly, and the ultimate in this business is to do an outstanding job for each and every one of your clients that they turn into raving fans, and then they refer business to you, so that in 3 to 5 years of nose to the grindstone, working really hard, digging up those clients, the majority of your business can be repeat and referral. And when I say repeat, those people that you helped your first and second year, it might be time for them to move again. Now that's not going to be the largest portion, but repeat and referral. But the point is going deep now, so that you can get to that point. You will, of the longer term agents in the office, I'd say 10 or more years, the vast majority of them, most of their business is referral or repeat. So they're not doing lead gen every day, and therefore not setting a great example for you all, but they built up to that point. So you can't look at a Priya and go, she's not picking up the phone and calling people. She did back then, So we have to kind of pay our dues first 3 years. And another, I'll just warn you, another hard thing is once you get a client, you're working with them, you forget about everything else and you're just absorbed with that client. We are going to talk about carving out the 2 to 3 hours almost every day where you're going to be making calls, writing notes, texting, making a post or two on social media. You basically, you're self-promoting, but you're service promoting your services, even if you've got a live one that you're working with, because you do not have to spend 24/7 with your clients. But back to these 6 perspectives that lead to success. The first, commit to self-mastery. This is meaning develop good habits, develop good habits to replace bad habits. Like, I'll just say, staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning watching the late night shows, which makes it very hard to get up at a decent hour, is probably not going to serve you, and so, may rethink some of those habits that you may have now. And likewise, knowing your strengths and weaknesses. If you know that when you go to make a post on Facebook or Instagram that you just get sucked in, but you're going to make an intentional post, real estate based, set your timer on your phone, and when it goes off, you're out of there. You stop, whatever. So those sorts of things. So committing to self-mastery is, okay, I know I'm human, I'm fallible, but I want to be better, so I've got to focus on developing the good habits. Committing to the 80-20 principle is just that truism that 20% of your efforts will produce 80% of your results. It's across the board. 20% of the people do 80% of the work. All that sort of stuff. But that again is pointing to your 20% is your lead generation, and if you do it every day, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, it will set you apart and set you on the path to success. Okay, the third step, this is page 11, moving E to P. This has been it's a little airy-fairy to me, but the principle is E represents entrepreneurial and P represents purposeful. That means knowing why you're doing whatever you're doing, intending to do it, and recognizing if you're frittering time or energy or money where you shouldn't be. So that's moving from E to P, where you're purposeful with your time, your energy, your efforts, even the people that you you spend time with. Hi, Scott. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Scott's bringing lunch for us, but we're not going to break quite yet. Step 4, make being learning based the foundation of your action plan. I mentioned earlier, there's always more to learn in real estate. So just learn. I will caution you that on the big calendar, there may be classes that right now your objective is to get through Ignite, and the additional classes that we have for you, like Mortgage 101, Matrix Basics, how to get paid on time. So before you spend 3 hours on another CE class or something, just run it by me, and I might say, you don't need that this month, take it the next time it comes around. So you don't have to take every single class that the office offers. Remove your limiting beliefs. This is a great one. Andrew, read the first red dot that starts with I have to be
an expert and know everything before I can begin my business. I'm not valid yet.
Okay. Everybody thinks this subconsciously or consciously, that, I don't want to get a client because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm here to tell you from this day forward, this office, the staff, even the other agents, we have your back. You get the client, we'll get you through. By the end of Ignite, you will know how to fill out the purchase and sale, make an offer and all that kind of stuff. But even if you come across somebody this week, Diane knows everything I know, vice versa, she knows more than me. We will help you, and your client will not know that you don't know what you're doing yet. So do not worry about that. you do sort of have to, and I hate this expression, fake it till you make it, but I promise you, we will not let you fail, make a fool of yourself, do something illegal, break a rule. So.
And never be afraid to admit, I'll get back to you. I need to check with my team or my attorney or the lender or someone. So let them know you'll get back to them. And also, you were saying something.
Well, yeah, if somebody asks you something, you can always say, I'm 95% I know the answer to that, but I really want to check with my broker to be 100%, and I'll call you back tomorrow before noon, something like that.
And the truth of the matter is, when you do get a business deal, like, even if you did prepare, you're going to realize how much of a fire starter you can be if you don't do the deal right. So that's kind of where the accountability of, like, the broker whose name that's on all the contracts, Stacy, Bonnie, Lynn, that's when you kind of have the accountability of everyone in the office, to make sure that you get it done, because essentially everyone is accountable for you succeeding. While it is important to know as much as possible, we lead with revenue. So you can, nothing out of knowing nothing is still nothing. So to at least get started and be able to get into it, each transaction, now I still learn something.
You learn so much.
I can't say that I can predict anything because all transactions are different. So the only thing that's going to help you is just your experience in doing it and your consistency, to be involved in business.
Yeah. When you represent a client, you're also representing the office. It's Keller Williams Atlanta Perimeter's name on the line if anything seriously goes south. So we're not going to let you get to that point. So I do recommend that the first time you are filling out our broker contract, let Diane or me, just spot check it for you, and that's great. And then so don't say something until we at least look at it the first time. But we're gonna do lots of practice things during the course of the night.
And then again, back to having a great team. So that's also why you want to have a lender. If you're new, you want to have a lender that's on it and that's experienced, so that your client isn't calling you, or you don't feel like you have to mediate, the relationship now between the lender and the client, because they're ultimately the one that's going to push the deal through. So once you have come to the vendor fair, or if you can make relationships with lenders that are going to get the deal done, that's going to make you look better, and that's going to put ease in your job and you getting stuff done.
Right. All right. Let's AJ, read the second bullet point. I don't think. Page 12.
I don't think I can achieve a profit goal that will fund my life this year.
Is anybody feeling that, thinking that? Mm-hmm. And an antidote to that is, when I set and track my goal and complete the activities required to meet my goal, I will fund my life this year. So it is absolutely possible. It's absolutely possible to exceed your expectations. It requires activities. And Takia, the last one.
Because I'm in business will come to me naturally. I don't need to devote 3 hours each day to lead generation.
I hope I have dissuaded you of that thought. To consistently have business, I will have to consistently go after it. Especially this week, the focus is on getting set up, getting your contacts in e-edge and getting them on a drip campaign. And then Friday, when Jennifer teaches, it's the focus is how to find business, and she's going to cover a whole litany of ways to meet people, but specifically meet people that might have a real estate need. So both through social media, door knocking, open houses, and Gary would say that be willing to try 3 methods, but don't try to do them all. That just going after business one way is kind of risky. It's like diversifying your stock portfolio. So be willing to try something you didn't think you'd like. And gosh, we've got a library of YouTube videos and experienced agents that, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and the whole, like, so lead generation is thought to be of like just a very daunting task, or like something that could create fear. But essentially, like, lead generation and you guys' spheres are 4 totally different spheres. So, like, while you may be going back to all your friends that have just graduated, you know, or the families of people that have relocated or people that you know in your dad's neighborhood, she's going to be going to, like, her kids' parents, you know, and maybe marketing heavily for Halloween pop buys or doing something like that to create a name at her kids' school as the realtor of choice. Y'all might be doing something different either at your secondary jobs, but is it, you know, like, I'm going to say make it as easy as possible by starting with what you already have. So start with, like, the relationships and the environments that you already have, and figure out a marketing strategy that's going to allow you to get business from there. Because you going to people saying, hey, you know, can I buy or sell you, help you buy or sell a house? You know, once you've done that 2 or 3 times, you have to get more creative with how you do it, and then you also have to start to establish yourself as an expert. So not just asking them for stuff, but now, again, maybe Halloween pop buys for people with kids, but you may, you know, go door knocking or take, like, you know, some small pumpkins or even a Halloween flyer, you know, saying, hey, I'm in business. Just wanted to let you know these are the top reasons why people should list their home, you know, for the winter. But those are gonna, like, choosing with where you already are is gonna make it easier than feeling like you absolutely
Start
have to pick up the call
new.
and call 100 expires. While you can add that too, but just knowing that you've got a few things, you know, that are already involved in your lifestyle.
Right, exactly. And to the point of letting them know that you're an expert, that doesn't mean you know everything, but when you bring something to the table, when you're calling people or texting or even just circulating at a function, having some current factoid that's relevant, interest rate changes or even employment rate numbers, inflation, or median sales price in part of town you live in. You're bringing something first before you're asking for referrals, and that can help you get you over the hump of, I don't want to just keep calling and asking them to help me launch my business. Yes, do that with the first call, but then start bringing something to them.
Something of value. Like the easiest next one I can think of aside from Halloween would be daylight savings time, or like when the time falls back. So you know, like that's a time that usually you might get an email or something from a vendor, but if you can be that first person to send that out on like Wednesday or Thursday, reminding people that this weekend they're getting an extra hour.
Baby.
And
they have those
small,
in
kind
the
of personal things. You know, it can have your branding on it, make you look really good. And again, it's something you could even print out if there were a few in your neighborhood that you wanted to, you know,
if
take
you really
pride
want
on
to cultivate your
press, or
neighborhood.
again, you know, yeah, but like those kinds of things are going to be, they're gentle, you know, things. Like not like, hey, you know, but they're gentle reminders so that when people do think about, oh, I need a realtor, you start to pop up in their mind as someone.
There you go. The last of our 6 perspectives is for success is to be accountable. You can have an accountability partner, you can have a coach, you can, but ultimately it's tracking your activities and reflecting. So having an appointment with yourself Brad does it every Sunday from 5:30 to 6. He sits down with his calendar and he looks at what he intended to get done the past week. How did he do versus that? And then he'll set goals for the coming week. And you know, we're big people now. We're in business, so this is the way business people do it. So during Ignite, we have a tool that I would like you to use, and it's called My Tracker. No, okay, there we go. Angela, would you go to that dial and turn off this strip of lights, please?
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to be on the computer very much.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. So I'm going to go back to the, my KW landing page. To get to all the Ignite materials, cursor up here on education, click. Did I click? Click. Takes you to Keller Williams. Well, the whole page is Connect, but it takes you here. Anyway, click anywhere in this box that says Ignite. Click. Then you get, looks like a blank page. Scroll down. Here we go. You can look at your, if you haven't already, you can go in here to Student Resources, and especially at the bottom are the goodies. Buyer needs analysis, buyer presentation, listing. Anyway, that's one, but today I want you to see my tracker. So yes, mykw.kw.com, education, Ignite, and then down to my tracker. Okay, here we are, and I have not told you about the daily 10-4, but let me show you first that here we are. I've put our teachers here, y'all, and let's see, then we'll go to this, back to the student dashboard. So essentially, let's see, today is Monday the 15th. If I click in there, it is so easy, simple. For each entry you add to your database, you can either type in the number or just click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whee! 10 connections. Those are phone calls or conversation. And I will say you can have a text conversation, not just a one-way, but if you get, if you communicate with somebody and they respond, call it a connection. 10 notes, I'm gonna say, if you get, I really think that's adequate. We'll talk more about that. Then preview 10 homes a week. That means, that's not every day. So throughout the course of the week, to get to know inventory, the easiest ways to do it are on Tuesdays, we have caravans. You can go, that's a caravan is when an agent hosts an open house for other agents. They want to expose their new listing to other agents, and maybe they're having a little feud with the seller about what the price should be. Seller wants it here, and agent's like, it ain't gonna sell. So they invite their fellow experts to come and give feedback on what they think the value is. So typically there'll be 1 to 3 from this office on Tuesdays after team meeting. But if you can't come to team meeting, I'm gonna teach you how to create a search in FMLS in Matrix so you can pull up caravans in your area. I mean, maybe you live on the south side or the east side or whatever, and you want to find out, but you just can't make it into team meeting. Okay, caravans. Then on the weekends, of course, we all know people have open houses. You can show up preview, I mean, it's, 10 to 15 minutes once you get there. But there is really something to be said for going in person. Because now, yes, we want you to be looking online and previewing properties online. Especially if you're going to go to Caravan or an open house, look at it online and notice if there are any differences when you show up in person. So, new construction oftentimes have models that you can cruise through. So if you're just intentional about it, you can easily do 10 a week. Angela, what was your experience? Did you find it hard, or how did you handle it?
Like with previewing homes?
Mm-hmm.
It was actually really fun to go preview homes, especially like the new construction, because they're so nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And clean.
Yeah, and you'll have to do that when you have clients as well. Like I have a client that's interested in new construction, so before I take her over there, I go and look at it. Or even, a resale home, I go look at it first sometimes.
Now, have you ever, I know if it's vacant, you can do that. Have you ever gone to preview a home where the people are living there before you take a client? I've experienced some pushback from sellers
to preview it?
Yeah, I guess if I explain that I'm bringing a client tomorrow,
yeah, if they're on showing time and I put it in there and make an appointment, I don't think that it really matters to them whether I'm bringing the client or not at that time, but yeah, I can see that.
But yes, if it wasn't in conjunction with showing a client, they might go, I'm not cleaning up and leaving the property just so you can come preview.
They should.
I know it. So as you're putting in every day, you're just clicking how many connections, database ads, notes, and homes that you previewed. I can produce this, it all comes to me, so I know it's, so let me speak to, for a second to the contacts in database. Some of y'all already have some, Takia, right?
Yes.
How many? Ish? Okay. The goal of Ignite is you have 200 by the end. Those of you who are grown-ups and have lots of former, work connections have an advantage because you have now, Andrew is new to the area. So how many do you have in there now?
Like 40.
Okay.
Around.
Andrea, have we done any in yours yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay. But you have been in Atlanta for a while.
This is year number 2.
Okay. Ignite assumes that you're starting with 0 today and you're just going to put in 10, not that you've met 10 new people every day, but that of contacts in your phone and your other Gmail, Yahoo accounts, that you're just getting in 10 a day. So 5 days in a week times 10 is 50, 4 weeks of class is 200. So obviously, if you already got 100, you're ahead of the game. So on that, the goal is just to be at 200 by the end of Ignite. Okay? I seriously think 5 notes a day would be outstanding. And for the duration of Ignite, we will supply the stamps. So when you write notes, bring them in, give them to Angel at the front desk, and she'll put a stamp on it and mail it for you. That's our gift to you during Ignite. I brought in some of my seasonally appropriate note cards because there's going to be a time we're going to do that after we eat lunch. Notes and calls. So, and I am going to endeavor to be here at the beginning. I already know of 2 classes I'm going to miss, but be here at the beginning of Ignite to each day to post this, not to guilt or shame you, to encourage you, because it will motivate you to keep going, and we need that. Angela, did you use my tracker when you took Ignite?
I did, but I didn't have the login credentials for like the first week or so.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember
so it was a
that.
little late, but yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gonna leave this for right now. Let me see where we are. Okay. Let us zip over to page 17. I hate that expression, ground rules. Okay. I've already mentioned arrive on time and return promptly from breaks. We will, every day there's a 20 minutes where we give you the opportunity to make some calls that count towards your daily 10. So the goal each time is if you can in that 20 minutes have a conversation with 3 people, you can stop. Now, we all know we get voicemail. That happens. Sometimes you can't get anybody. In 20 minutes, you get nothing but voice messages. Do leave a message. Don't miss that opportunity. But sadly, you didn't have any connections. So, but if you in 20 minutes, if you did get 1, 2, or 3, then that you've whittled down on the 10 a day. Yes, make sure your phones are turned off during class. I would say it's a good idea to just assume you need to bring your laptop every day. You won't use it every time, but I'd rather you be prepared and bring it charged just in case you can't get near a power strip. Some of these I'm not even going to say because they're so self-evident. Okay. What we're going to do now is take a 10-minute break. Restroom, move around, and when you come back, coffee, water. Scott has lunch back there for us. Yay! And he's got water bottles. So if that's what you. So after you take a break, make a plate and come sit down. So at 11:45, we'll let you tell us what you do.
Okay.
Awesome. Oh, do you want to go right?
It's up to you. Now let me go for I go after.
Okay. I know I was going to say you said before and after. If you don't mind.
I just wanted to pull up some of the slides where it's stuff that you were talking about, so I can pull it.
Yes,
So
on point.
they're in here so that they could get a grasp of what we had to talk.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to click. And turn the deadbolt here so that you can get back in the door.
I guess I didn't turn it off the last time.
Yes, I did. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I think you called me before. How are you? I'm doing well, thanks. Are you in real estate school yet? Oh, excellent, exciting. Where do you live currently? Which one? Because we've got a couple offices, so you got it. Okay, the one in Camp Creek. Okay, awesome. And so, did you tell me you were looking to do commercial or residential, or you don't have a preference right now? Okay, got it. So our commercial office is actually, well, we have a few locations, but the largest commercial office is going to be at Dunwoody, at the office across from Perimeter Mall. KW Midtown also has a really nice commercial group. The one at Camp Creek is you're gonna be limited in the resources because there aren't very many commercial agents at that office. But if you're looking to kind of go and shine and thrive in a new market, I would definitely suggest that would be good for you. You're just gonna have to get your training somewhere else. But yeah, if you want to schedule some time to meet and get together, you can do that. And actually, the commercial team meetings are on Wednesdays. So maybe if you wanted to make a plan to come to that, I can introduce you to some of the commercial people. So I'm going to start at the perimeter office. Again, they have a team of 35. And so that's going to be the largest commercial office that we have in Atlanta. But outside of that, Midtown, they have a robust commercial team as well. I would just need to check to see exactly when their team meetings are. So what you can do is actually, let's just start with just you and I meeting. I think that'll be easier, then we can put together your game plan. So text me your email and let me know what your availability is going to be like for Wednesday or Thursday this week. And then I'll confirm a time with you and send you a calendar invite. And you can go ahead and meet at that Starbucks on Camp Creek Parkway and plan to meet there. Does that work? And then we'll kind of, put together a plan, and then from there, I can set you up to go interview with officers if you ready for that. Okay? So make sure you hit me, text me so that I can score you and get you locked in. All right? Thank you.
I forgot to say that you are always welcome if you need to use the restroom, even just stand up and stretch. I can't stand sitting for long periods of time, so if you feel like you're getting a cramp or you're just, I'm gonna fall asleep, get up, walk to the back of the room. It is okay with me. So, Mr. Buckley.
Yes.
Fancy sandwiches.
That's what I
Chicken's
said.
in the middle, ham on the left, and roast beef on the front.
Yeah.
This is the mayonnaise, basil mayonnaise, and a mustard mayonnaise. I'm kind of partial to basil. It's good with basil mayonnaise.
Sounds delish. Yeah.
Hello, this is Priya. I do. We've actually accepted a
there's
tenant
stuff
for that
too.
property, but it was a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and it was $19.95 a month.
Basil mayonnaise, and that's mustard.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Pardon me. Trade places. So where are these from?
Costco.
Wow.
Yeah, they do a good job of,
What?
Very tasty.
What do you do about hostage? I have a friend who likes to take meals to new mothers, and it's the same every time. Call it the cult special for Latin's cult. Costco rotisserie chicken, bag, salad, a container of either cookies or brownie bites, some kind of maybe macaroni and cheese
Yeah.
as a side, and
All this from Costco?
and so she takes it. She says, "Hey, that's how I get to hold babies." You know, she'll come. I held an 8-day-old baby girl today. Very exciting. Oh.
Did you say this was basil?
yeah, basil, mayonnaise, and then ham on the left, roast beef on the right, and chicken in the middle.
Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Stacy, I forgot to tell you, I gotta leave at about 12:15 because I have a meeting. So I'll just quietly creep out.
Chicken's disappearing in the middle. Ham on the left, roast beef on the right.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead
Yeah.
and come on up since everybody's here and still munching, but that's fine. Do you need the
No.
screen? Okay. I will sit over here. Y'all, this is Scott Buckley, National Property Inspectors.
Hello.
We're a home inspection company.
We've been around since 2008. We've got 8 active inspectors with 2 more just finishing up their training. So we've basically got 10 now. We've got another guy who's bilingual. He should be trained we had to push back his training, but it won't be till like January, February. So if you have any Hispanic speaking clients, he's the one to get, because once he finishes training, he'll be able to translate easily rather than getting the child to do the translation, and you never know if that's going to be accurate. I do want to say congratulations to all y'all, because I know how tough it is being a real estate agent. I've never done the job actually, but I sit in a lot of team meetings, and I've thought about becoming an agent. And then when I listen to these team meetings and the things y'all have to do and work, and it's a lot. I would like to help y'all out in the home inspection aspect of it. I've got a few things I'm giving y'all. The one's the Buyer and Seller's Guide to the Home Inspection Process. This is a little Q&A book. We bring it to each inspection to let our clients read it. It helps them understand what we do. Kind of, because when we come to it on the job, the tensions are getting really high, the emotions are running high, because your client really wants that house. They're praying we don't find anything wrong. 2, you're nervous as the buyer's agent because you're worried, is the inspector going to kill this deal? And believe me, there are some inspectors out there that do kill the deal. Our language should be such that we just provide the facts. Let the client make up their mind what they want to do. But anyone that gives you colorful language like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't let my daughter buy this house, run from that inspector. Let me tell you a little bit about the inspection industry. We are not licensed in Georgia. We don't have any governing authority to say this guy's good or that guy's bad. In fact, if y'all want to change careers, go to Vistaprint, print up some cards that say I'm a home inspector, and I guarantee in the springtime you'll get some work. Now, how long you last is depending on how much knowledge you have, but it's a buyer beware situation in Georgia, so be very careful. There are 3 major trade organizations, ASHI and InterNACHI. I'm InterNACHI, but most of our guys are ASHI and InterNACHI trained. There's also NAHI. I highly recommend getting one of those, an inspector from one of those trades.
Now, are those certifications or just membership?
They're memberships. Well, like ASHI, you have to have 250 inspections under your belt. Submit all of those reports to ASHI. Then you're admitted. And then the more inspections you do, the more you keep submitting, you grow in rank. Because they want to make sure you're adhering to their standard of practice. All the standards of practice of all 3 trade organizations are similar. There are a little bit differences. ASHI's probably the oldest and most widely known. But also be careful, because I have seen a guy lift the ASHI logo and put it on his card. Yes, it is buyer beware out there. So you can always call ASHI and say, I'm meeting Mr. Johnson. Is he currently a member with your organization? And if they say yes, great. Or you just call NPI and we'll be able to help you out. So that, and then I've got you a little brochure, which these are all the free little gifts we offer. I want to highlight one, the 90-day warranty, because I had an agent from another KW office come up to me, and she was in a bit of a bind because the HVAC, the air conditioning unit, passed inspection, but 2 months into the home, it failed. And this happened recently in late September, when we were having this, summer that won't end, and it's in the 90s, and they want their air conditioning, and nothing's happening. They got a guy out there, and the HVAC contractor figured out that the refrigerant leaked, so it couldn't absorb the heat and get rid of it. Couldn't cool the house. The inspection company said, no, we can't, we're not doing anything. It passed inspection the day we did it. And that does happen. There will be times when we'll do something, we'll come in there, everything will be fine, and you never know when something will fail. They couldn't do anything to help. We do have a little program called our 90-day warranty. I highly recommend your clients get a 1-year warranty, but if they don't, this little 90-day warranty pays $500 mechanical, $2,000 structural. The bill to pump to add more for refrigerant was $225. We could have covered that and saved, the actual agent was going to spend her own money to make her clients happy for that and just do that. But if they had used us, that 90-day warranty would have kicked in and paid for it. So I highly recommend that. Also, these are little postcards we give to our clients as a thank you, and they can refer someone, or if they need another inspection, it's $25 off. Please use these. Also, I'll tell you a little secret. We have a Perpetual coupon on our website, atlhomeinspector.com. It's on the right-hand side. It's a dark gold bar box. You just scroll down and you can use that. And you don't need this, but we've got it because people don't realize that it's there, or we tell them and they forget. So please have your clients take advantage of this in our card. And I do want to, I'm going to pass out my card. Now, I don't do the inspections so much anymore, but because I help out with marketing. But if you guys are in a situation, being brand new agents, that you're showing a home and something doesn't look right, take a picture of it with your cell phone. My number's on here, my cell phone. You can text it to me and I can point you in the right direction, even if you don't use us as a home inspector. Because I do appreciate what y'all are about to go through. I am excited for y'all because I think KW is by far the best brokerage or agency that trains, heads and shoulders above everybody else. So you're in the best place to get started, and you're in the best place once you get your career going to develop it further. So congratulations on your choice here. And I love the Perimeter office. They're great. They're great people here. Are all of y'all staying in this office, or do y'all just come? Oh, okay, perfect. Great. So you'll see me around. If there's anything I can do to help you, even if you've got a home you're going to list, we don't do too many of these because especially in a seller's market, the seller doesn't want to spend any money to get their home. They just say, hey, it's a seller's market. Buyers are going to come at me left and right. However, if you get home that you're listing between above $750,000, those homes are sitting longer. If they want to spend the money, we can do a pre-listing inspection, which we can come through, find everything for the client, and then they can take that list and then fix what they want to fix or fix what they think is important. Then they can always show that to the prospective client, the buyer, and say, hey, look, I'm actively trying to sell my home. This is what's wrong. This is what the inspector found. This is what we fixed. So that would be helpful, especially in a buyer's market. And between $750,000 and $1.5 million, those homes are sitting longer. I think I've been told like 18 months on average. So it depends which price range home you're selling, or that it's more of a buyer's market, I guess, 500, 400 and under. But I'm sure that will change. The market's cyclical. So if there's anything I can do to help you get your business going, that please let me get involved, because I do appreciate what you're entering. I mean, y'all have to juggle inspectors and loan officers and insurance people and the clients, which can
challenging.
Yes.
Y'all, I strongly recommend take Scott's card, go ahead and create a contact in your phone for him. And this was a very generous offer that you're out and you think something looks funny, that you take a picture and text it to him and say, who do I turn to for this? Or, it's got to be pretty short and specific. But that is a very generous offer that he just made. I also love the buyer and seller guide to inspections, because everybody has different expectations of how comprehensive it's going to be or not, what it covers or not. And giving those out in your initial consultation with your buyer is a smart thing, but you read it first, so you are schooled and you'll feel a little more confident the first inspection you go on.
Just in a nutshell, we're a visual inspection only. The only thing we will use tools to take apart to actually get into is the HVAC unit and the electrical panel. You need a screwdriver to get the electrical panel off, because you want to see what's behind the panel, see the wires coming in, see if there's grommets to protect the sharp edge of the panel from cutting into the wire, all sorts of things. And the electrical panel is extremely important, because if something's wrong in there, you could potentially create a fire. We've got a picture of Bob McDonough, who's founded our franchise here in Atlanta, taking the temperature, and it's the electrical panel's reading 247.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Why it hadn't started a fire, but it's going to, because you get that temperatures that basically the wires are overloaded. They got too much electricity. That's what, well, these are fluorescent, but an incandescent bulb, that element just electricity and it glows. It provides heat. In fact, an incandescent bulb provides more heat than it does a better job at providing light. So
LED.
yeah, they are. They're yes.
Did you talk about the fact that y'all give estimates with y'all's inspections now? Do
Yes.
y'all still do that?
We do. We just, this came online earlier in the summer. It's called, we're giving it away for free. It's a $60 value. It's called Repair Pricer. They take our report. I don't have the flyer with me, but they take our report and price everything out. So what that means for you guys is you guys as a buyer's agent do not need to run back and forth through the property to figure out, to let contractors in at their time, because they're busy, they've got work, and okay, I can be there at 5 or 6. Repair Pricer doesn't do the work, but they're retired Atlanta contractors that know the market, and they just sit there using our reports, artificial intelligence, and satellite technology to do a computer model of our home. They can determine how much of fascia board we need, or something like that to replace. And then they'll figure it all up and list everything out. So you can sit down with your clients and say, okay, this is important, this is not.
Which, guys, that's priceless. It's going to
It is
save you so much
priceless,
time
yeah.
during your due diligence period.
Exactly, and it's gonna make you look so good.
Yeah, switch to them for that very
And what we do is you'll get our report and then there'll be a link through Homebinder to upload the report to Repair Pricer. And then within 24 hours, you'll get it. So if we did an inspection for you today, we would most likely send you the report today, probably about 6 o'clock. Then 6 o'clock tomorrow night, you get the report back from Repair Pricer with everything listed on it. And it does save time. They are 98% accurate. And then you just get whoever you want, but it'll relieve a lot of stress to sit down with your client and figure out what's important, what's not.
And it should be a good negotiating tool
Yeah.
with the seller, because you've had something professionally priced out.
We did just to tell you another little story, I did a sewer scan. We have that as well. I found tree roots every 3 feet at every joint. It was terracotta tile pipe, basically clay pipe. And they were going for 40 feet. Because we did that sewer scan, they got $11,000 off the asking price.
Wow.
And that's what Repair Pricer can do for you. You can bring what you found and what we found and what the Repair Pricer people say it's going to cost, and negotiate. And you can sit down and say, okay, we're going to forget the light switch because that's a simple fix, but the HVAC unit's acting funny. Let's get that repaired. So you can pick and choose what you want to do on that. Okay. And
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I
So
appreciate
you've
it.
already passed those out to everybody?
Yeah, and I thank you for. I'm doing this because I've got 7 kids. I need the support, and my oldest one just got engaged a week from this past Saturday. So
that's your big why.
yes, that's
Right.
my very big why. I got a wedding to pay for. So
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
This was
you.
great.
Thank you. That was great.
I tell you, yes, our vendors bring so much extra value, but these National Property Inspector, make it easy on yourself. Use somebody where you're gonna get, they're gonna make you look good.
Yeah.
So Priya, Stacy, would you come on, please? So Priya mentioned that she has a nonprofit and teaches a class, and it's coming up this Saturday, and it's really cool.
And it's here at the office. And so what it's called QL, which stands for Quantum Leap. And so basically what
Who developed it?
is Gary Keller, who is the founder of Keller Williams in our company. He basically took all of his life secrets and understandings about how to live a big life and put it into this one course. So real estate, yes, but more so mindset and business and entrepreneurship and how to live a big life based off of who you are. So because we were kind of talking about it today, I just wanted to go over some of the things that I will be talking about on Friday. on Saturday. And for 2 reasons, I'm sharing this with you. One, because if you have time, I'd love for you to come. Again, not just for your real estate career, but for life. It kind of puts things on 10 as far as how to just live better, do better, be better, act better, and have better and more and what you want. And then also, too, because you're new into the business, if you're interested in impacting the lives of anyone around you, this would be a great way, a great touch to offer to them. I can send you the link for the registration, but basically anyone from high school to about 30 is the age group that we target with this program. And so these 5 slides are kind of just a snapshot of what we go through over the day, but this talks about the 4 productivity areas of a wealthy life. And we can't kind of get to the next one until we understand the first one. So I think where we all are kind of at is in life productivity, which is a constant understanding, of where we are in life, what we want our life to mean, and how we want to impact others. And then from there, we go to personal productivity, which is career potential. Based off of the life you want to live, what type of career options would be available to help you achieve that type of life? And then from there, we talk about what we're gonna do as far as business productivity, which means potential through others. So that's kind of either where you might start investing or doing different groups. For me, that's I do the Airbnb market. So it's kind of like, how are you gonna take your relationships with others and start creating business potential? And then from there, once you have money, it's about financial productivity and how to make your money continue to succeed for you and create more money. Where we were also talking about with Stacy were the wealthy person's 6 discipline areas of life. So these habits are kind of broken down similar to what she was saying, but it's important to have a self habit, which means you have a habit about where you are in life. A habit about what your mind and how your mind is functioning and where you're going and where you want to be. And then proactivity and consistency, a persistent habit. So kind of like once you figure out that big why, that's going to be the thing that kind of helps you drive that self-habit and that self-motivator to move forward. From there is the spiritual discipline as far as like who's your authoritative factor, whether it's God, whether it's a different type of source, but owning that we all got here from somewhere and having some type of alignment to give thanks to the source that created. A prayer and meditation habit. If you guys ever get into bold, we're very big here about like affirmations and meditations and things like that. Just because when your mind is working right and your mind knows what you want to do, it'll create the physical world around it to give you those things. And then a thankfulness and gratefulness habit, which you can execute really well through those 10 note cards that we're supposed to be doing every day. Again, while you're telling people about your business, now's a great time because you all did just take a big leap into a career that, this was a goal for you. So just kind of sharing with someone how they've impacted your life, how you're grateful,
Co-workers.
For them to support you through that. But just kind of really being grateful also sets the tone for some really big business that can happen and come your way. From there, physical habit, exercise habit, nutrition habit. So I've really taken ownership of this one within this last year and a half. I used to be 225 pounds.
Wow.
So I work
You're
out
not anymore.
every day now. Nutrition is still key. But the gag is just kind of to own it. And stress, again, is something like foot massages, like if a deal's getting on my nerves, like I really kind of mastered just zoning and making sure that I keep myself together so that I can be 100 for my clients. The time habit, again, this is what I specialize in too. So what they do is they tell us to schedule, when you're scheduling out your year, you're actually supposed to schedule out your playtime first. So the vacations that you want to take with your family, the trips that you want to go on, you absolutely have the right to enjoy yourself. So what we feel is if you schedule that and you're allowed to dream about that just as much as you dream about your work, it's going to motivate you to achieve those goals so that you can have the life that you want. The playtime habit, so just as equally as we're scheduling out our playtime, we have to schedule out the time that we're actually going to do work, which in the grand scheme of things, it's essentially that 3 hours of lead generation. Because everything else we can outsource. You know, once we start getting the contracts, we can outsource everything else. But the lead generation and that 3 hours a day is the pay time. So whether you do it in the beginning of the morning, whether you do morning, lunch, and dinner, you know, depending on your clients, that's kind of the important thing. And then organizing your schedule. So if you don't have it on your schedule, it doesn't exist, you might have heard about that. But the calendar pretty much does a great thing about the job for helping us stay accountable. And then we also have tools that you'll learn about called the GPS, goals, priorities, and strategies, as well as the 411, which breaks things down into a weekly kind of what you're supposed to do based off of the goals that you create for yourself. A money habit. So the gross income habit, basically, and then the 70-30, which we're only supposed to live off of 30% of our income, or it's possible. And then the value accountability habit. And so I'm still definitely, I would say, learning or in the midst of understanding the money habit, because I do have very low expenses. Until January, I didn't have any responsibilities, and then I took on guardianship of my little cousin. But it's kind of just understanding, once you understand the money that you have and the money that you're bringing in every week, every month, you can start to divide, you know, play, pay, spiritual, where those things are going to go, and also profit. And the great thing is, the more you minimize the profit by sharing with the resources that you have, the less taxes you have to pay at the end of the year, which for some of you guys, if you are still employed, is very important. You can talk to me on the side to make sure that you're not paying taxes on a business that you haven't generated income from, or at least profit from. Income and profit are two different things, because you guys are actively spending in your businesses until you make that profit. And then your growth habit, which is a unique ability habit, that thing that kind of makes you special, understanding what that is and how you can grow from there. The leverage habit, how to identify talent and then use others to kind of grow your business and grow what you want to do. And then the new capacities and repairs habit, basically learning and understanding your weaknesses, seeing the strengths, and learning how to take that to a new level once you hit a growth ceiling. So success is wanting something and getting it. Happiness happens on the way to fulfillment. So kind of that big why, like the magic isn't in achieving, or in the big, like once the big why has happened, the magic is in the road to get there. You know, the journey is in the destination, blah, 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 blah. The destination is the journey. But those things are true, and when you kind of embrace that, you enjoy it. So this is also kind of where we go from here. We talk about a wealthy person's, a wealthy person's 5 life relationships. And so what we're doing here is kind of breaking down your life into how to make it a business model that can work for you. So we talk about mentors and role models, which again, for each of those 6 habits, if possible, you'll be able to create a mentor or role model around that to help you achieve those habits at a high level. Number 2 would be the people that you determine wealth for. So those would be any people that you hire, like contract to close, personal assistant, something like that. The people that you love, you know, self-explanatory. And then down here are these people, these are potential clients. You might not have figured them out yet, who they are. They could even be vendors. But what they are those raving fans that we generate, you know, from all the people that we told were in real estate. These are the people that actually, 1, give you business, but 2, like maybe more than once a year. Like they're people that are like actively, they're either in a situation where they're driving a lot of real estate clients and they can use you as a source, or they're truly a fan of you and they want to support you any way they can. And so they go right here.
Referrals,
yeah. Referrals. How you get your business, correct. And so what they're saying is basically, if you, let's say you have a database out of 100. Of those 100, you should be able to cultivate 5 people that are actually giving you referrals. Not 5 pieces of business, but 5 people that are then giving you business in addition to the business that you've already cultivated through your database. And where these people come from, if you haven't developed it now, it'd be good to also take some time in here, but your top 25 professional and allied resources. So the inspector that was just here would be one, the people that are gonna be at the vendor fair would be another one, enterprise, people need cars. But you can kind of mix and match a mattress firm, depending on what you are and what you think your clients would like to experience. That's how you kind of create those top 25 allies, and then those top 25 people are always competing to be your 5 wealth determiners. And when you start putting money into your database, we spend a lot of money on these top 5 people because they give us a lot of business in turn. The pathway to money. So kind of, this is where we're all at right now, I would say, is on the left side, the human capital. So you work for your money, you spend money, you donate money, you lend, and then the ways that you have passive income is through things like money markets, stocks and bonds, things like that. On the right side is when your money works for you. So that's when you're able to leverage more of your saving and your investing. You actually own, and then the active ways to be an investor on that when it's working for you side would be to do owner financing, private lending, to own businesses and own real estate, because those are things that you return. But through the passive route and the active route, all of those are creating some type of financial returns for you. And so lastly, where we kind of end our day on Saturday, is we actually talk about what it looks like to invest a small amount. This is what you do with those returns, number 5 that you're getting. But if you were to invest $100 over 30 years, depending on what type of interest rate you're getting, we're actually making at a minimum $36,000. But if we can get somewhere with a 20% return, which real estate's gonna have your highest return, but even in the 8 to 10%, which some banks would offer, you're gonna get about $150,000 to $200,000 to upwards of $2 million off of that $100 investment that you save every month. So it's just kind of to show, especially for younger people, the power of consistency and consistently saving and what you can do with that. So it was great seeing you all. Hope you enjoyed my little spiel. And if you know anyone that could use QL, please send them Saturday. It'll be here, right here in the office. It's all day. It includes breakfast and lunch.
And it's free.
It's absolutely free. Yes. There are donations that are accepted if you do make them. They go towards continuing the program and exposing it to more young people.
So anybody have?
Do you have anything, like a link or anything that you can share on Facebook or Instagram? Or
I
anything?
do. I have all of that. Do you want it right now?
Yeah.
If you give me your email, I'll send it to you. And then tomorrow at team meeting, I'll be in here doing something for team meeting, and then I'll have another final, like I'll send out to everyone in the office some more links. But yeah, I just need your email, and I'll give you that.
Well, Apriya, you want to just make a copy of that sign-in sheet, because it should have everybody's.
I'll do that. I'll go do that now.
Do we know where? Oh, I have it. Ugh. Mm-hmm. Okay, I hope you have gotten the impression that there are just tons of resources for you. Resources, help, opportunities. I mean, we are behind you. So, we don't need you anymore. All right. We are going to talk money. Right now, hold on. Sorry. Okay, bye. If you would please turn to 21 and 22. This is gonna be your this is gonna be one item of your homework. Okay, so you got the instructions there, but rather than taking the time to do it now, this might help you think through, your own big why. Now see? So, okay, so then turn the page and we're gonna do some numbers. So pages 23 and 24, let me get my phone. Okay, it's out here. Here it is. All right. You know the when you first start selling in your commission, there's a split. 30% goes to the office, 70% goes to you, but then in addition you pay 6% royalty to KWRI. So effectively for a time, it's a 64-36 split. Okay, all that to say, our goal is to cap. After that point, you're keeping 100% of your commission. Well, honey, water overload.
Thank you.
Good thing it's water.
Right.
Okay, so let's say you wanted to make $100,000. Let's work our way back to, is that how I want to do it? Let's start with some assumptions. In the book, it just assume average sales price is $200,000. I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying assume. And that the average commission rate is 3%. So the average commission is $6,000. So if I want to, end up with $100,000 after I've capped, so the total of the cap is $18,000. So I need to make, I guess it's $118 for me to net 100. Okay, so how many transactions, which would be this divided by this? Anybody quick on the draw? I'll do it. Hold on, I'll get it. Okay, it's roughly 20 transactions. Which is less than 2 per month. But again, that's assuming an average sales price of 200. Obviously, if you sell at a higher price point, it wouldn't take as many transactions, and a lower, you see what I mean?
I'm sorry, Stacy. After the 6,000, I got completely lost. Where did we get 118 from?
Okay, if you wanted to shoot, or I want to make 100,000 next year, well, you're gonna, in the process of getting there, your cap of the 30% going to the office and the 6%, when you're finished, it's $18,000. So I just said 100 plus 18.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, this doesn't, you're not really gonna net 100. Well, you gotta pay taxes, you gotta pay expenses, whatever. But the more important thing for you guys to know is how much do I have to sell to cap? Because that's what I want to get to where I'm getting all my commission. I'm not, and it is very, very possible. Okay. The interesting thing is when you're paying the cap and you're paying the royalty, you're doing it at the same time, so you don't say, okay, don't use 18%, just the 15%. And I can tell you the short answer is $1,700,000 worth of real estate will earn you the commissions that will cap. Okay, I'm going to take 15,000. I always divide. Andrew, be my money man. Be my number man. Okay. So what this means is if you earn $50,000 in gross commission income, you're giving the first $50,000, you're going to be giving up 30% each time. So it's when you get to 50,001 that you start getting 100%. So let's say that average commission, of $6,000. That's 8 1/3 transactions. So that could be 4 months, it could be 6 months. There are people that don't cap their first year, but there are plenty that do. So how much, this is the gross commissions. I'm going to divide this by 0.03, assuming a 3% commission. So, I'm going to divide that by average sales price of $200,000, and it's still 8.3 transactions. Now, obviously, you can slice this many ways. Let's say your average sales price was $300,000. That's 5.5 transactions. Okay. The point of this is that all through Ignite, they refer to you guys as cappers in training, because we're trying to get to the point where we make that much in gross commission, finish paying what we pay, and then take home 100%. Whee! That's when it's sweet. There is one exception to that, in that we put our listings in both FMLS and Georgia MLS. Thank you so much, Priya. We all pay I think it's $25 a month membership to Georgia MLS, but FMLS charges you by the closed transaction. You don't pay anything until you have a closing, and then you pay .0012 times the sales price. So if the sales price was $200, it's $240. So even when you're getting 100%, you've capped sadly, this goes on forever. The office will deduct this amount from your commission check. So we're gonna have a class which is gonna explain so much on, not this Friday, but the next, after Ignite, how to get paid on time. And it's gonna go all through do you want direct deposit? Do you want a check? Do you need to be paid at the closing table? When you have a buyer, and you go under contract and they write an earnest money check, what do you do with it? How quickly do you need to bring it in? After your closing, what do you do with the paperwork and the commission check that the closing attorney gave you, which is made out to Keller Williams Atlanta Perimeter? Answer all those questions in that class. Okay, so next, I want us to, also for homework, page 26, which is sort of what we were going through. I want you to come up with your net goal. Now this is not, this is before taxes and expenses, but, and then in this book, for some reason, they've got Market Center Campus 20,000, but it's 15,000 for us. And anyway, fill this out, and I'd love to see it on Wednesday. Now, do y'all feel comfortable doing that, AJ?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. Now, the next 2 pages, we get back to the commitment to daily lead generate. I think a better way of sharing this is, well, let's say, Takia, that when you left here, you stopped at the grocery store on the way home, you started talking to somebody, and they said, oh, yes, I'm so glad to find out you're a realtor. I need to, I want to buy a home or a condo or something. How long do you think it would be before you'd get a commission check into the future? I mean, the answer's not tomorrow.
Yeah, I know that.
When do you get paid?
Closing.
Okay, and typically how long is it until closing?
Maybe a month.
A month from once you have found the house and gone under contract.
Right.
So then you got the extra time, you gotta find the house. Might take a day or two to negotiate, to actually come to terms.
Mm-hmm.
If you meet her today, you might not, she might not be able to go out house hunting with you until this weekend.
Right.
Or the following weekend, because she's already going out of town this weekend. So when you back that all up, it is safe to say the time from when you have that magical conversation, somebody identifies themselves as needing to buy or sell or invest, count on at least 60 days. Some people would say as far as 90 days should be worst case. But from meeting them, setting the appointment, to get together and figure out exactly what they want, and then you do your shopping, and then you get under contract and all these things, at least 60 days before you earn any money. Now, if you only have one going on, you get very frantic. So the ideal is, even if you determine through that that homework assignment of the, how many transactions and the GCI, because remember, no money comes in except for commissions. I mean, it's not a salary type thing. If based on what you want to earn, it says, oh, you only need 1 transaction a month, work on 2. things happen. And you just don't want to put yourself in the position where you got nothing, honey, coming. It is always better to have 3 clients at once. You may think, oh, I'm going crazy. With each transaction, you'll get more and more settled and confident, and you'll know what to do. But don't stop with just one, because it may not pan out. Oh, and it is so sad to see an agent go, oh, I spent so much time and we were under contract, and I've had this happen to me. On the last day of due diligence, they decided to terminate for one reason or another. So multiple 2 to 3 active clients at a time. Really, you will thank me if you heed that advice. Okay, the funnel on page 29. Love the funnel. As a matter of fact, I have now put the funnel, as my background on my phone. It's black and white, so it's really boring, but it's a good visual for you to understand. You need a bunch of leads, and leads are not just the conversations you're having. Leads are people say even that they might want to do something, this year, 6 months from now, whatever. And because not everybody that you meet is going to agree to either list with you or for you to be their buyer's agent. Now, I would say a high percentage, because all of you are very nice people. A high percentage. But when you are making calls, doing pop buys, all the various lead generation activities, you're trying to set appointments with those who are serious, that they truly have a need, and because you will potentially lose them if you try to do everything electronically or over the phone. Oh, tell me what you want, da da da. But once you have sat down face to face, they'll be hooked and they'll be committed to you. And we're going to teach you exactly what you do and say during the buyer consultation, and exactly what you do and say, and prepare for the listing presentation. All of that is to come. But the point of lead generation is, number one, to find people that have a need now. Secondly, those that have a need a little bit down the road. And thirdly, just to make sure people are thinking of you as their star realtor. Make appointments. I would venture to say that a very high percentage of those that you sit down, well, more so with buyers than sellers, the National Association of Realtors statistics are that far and away, most people that need to sell or buy, they only meet with one realtor. So if you get an appointment with them, you got the job. Mm-hmm. Now, there are some sellers that just feel like, oh, I've got to interview 3 agents. And they might try to negotiate your commission. We always advise, if they use the line, well, so-and-so said she could do it for 5% instead of 6%. We're going to get into exactly what you say to refute that, but essentially, if she's willing to negotiate her commission that easily, is she going to be the best negotiator on your behalf during the transaction? But all that to say, it is possible that you might not be chosen if somebody decides to undercut, sell themselves short. So you don't assume you're gonna get every listing appointment you go on unless you know for sure you're the only one that's being interviewed. So, the transition from appointments to agreements, that's referring to the brokerage agreement, the buyer broker agreement, or the listing agreement. It's, you know, it won't be 100%, but it could be 90% of the people that you actually get to commit and sit down with will sign with you. Then contracts are, you know, you go under contract with them, and once you get to the closing table, finally, you get paid. So all that to say, I hope that you all may want to, you know, have some savings. So like 60 days from now, I would say would be the first time any of y'all could possibly see money coming in. So I know you have another job, you have another job, you have a free place to live, but you know, it's reality. And the way to counteract that is talk to people, talk to people, talk to people, talk to people everywhere. On Friday, I think I mentioned that Jennifer Hannon is going to talk about different ways to meet people, and absolutely wherever you're already associated, affiliated, church, some hobby group that you're a part of, you know, go with what you know to begin with. Don't, because, and you know, if you're passionate about something, you're going to be more fun to be around anyway. So, and ultimately, you know, the goal is to have the people in your database know you, like you, and trust you. So whatever it takes to establish that, know you, like you, trust you. Those are the kind of people that can turn into raving fans if they're the personality. I have a bunch of clients, closed clients, that are homebodies. They don't entertain, they don't go out, they go to their job, do their job, and come home. And I mean, I loved working with them, but they're not promoters. And so, but just know that not all your clients are going to be of the personality that's going to, you know, refer 4 coworkers to you. But they may 3 years from now. So you still treat them the same. Okay, we're gonna, here are the categories that we need to cover. Scripts, and calendar. Yep, those are the 2 big chunks. Remember, I pulled out the script booklet. There are also some, they always throw some scripts in. I resisted this mightily when I first got into real estate. I'm not going to memorize something because it won't sound like it's coming from me. You know, I want to be authentic. I want to be genuine, and that was what my resistance was. I am changing my tune. Let me see. Come over to page 36. I like this. AJ, up at the top actually of 35.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine there were, you go into a retail store, let's say you go into Best Buy,
Mm-hmm.
and a salesperson comes up. Which of the 3 communications do you think is going to engage you, open you up to actually start talking to them? Read the first one.
Did you find everything you were looking for? Go ahead, look around, and please let me know if I can help you. I see you admiring that large screen TV. Are you looking to have one in your home for the big game this weekend?
Now, who are you going to chat with?
Well, the one that's going to get the customer engaged is always to have them talk. So
Mhm.
you want to ask them a question that will open them up. So the third one is the best one, and then the first one, but the one in the middle, that one would be all the way up.
Yeah, the first one I find most of the grocery store chains and Target and other places, they're training their checkout personnel to ask that question, which I think is good, because I think my biggest frustration when I go shopping is not being able to find something. Other than that, it's fine, you know? And that provides sort of a feedback loop. Either they can tell the person where it is, or if they don't have it, then they can tell the back office, we need to order so-and-so. So that's not bad, but it's certainly,
It's not the best.
yes, it's not proactive. So you mentioned, AJ, asking questions. He who asks the most questions wins, and the more in both the buyer consultation and the listing, the more you're asking questions and letting them do the talking, the more you win. That people like to talk about themselves and what they're interested in. So when you are calling people and they just start getting in the habit, they say anything like, you know, the usual, oh, what'd you do last weekend? And they say, oh, went to a movie. Instead of just moving on to the next statement, oh, really, what'd you see? Did you like it? All of a sudden, your stock value has gone up in their eyes because they're getting, you acted interested, you know? Likewise, you meet somebody in an open house or whatever, they're an unrepresented buyer, and they say they're gonna, they wanna buy, and you say, oh, will this be the first home you purchased? And they say, no, we bought a townhouse 4 years ago. And you can say, how was in another city, how was your experience with your realtor? Did you like them? What did they do well? What did they not do well, or that disappointed you? Find out lots of information, so you have to listen for clues of how you can uncover what's going to make them tick and make you a success with them. So asking questions. Okay. There is a video I'll show you. But where I really want to go is we're actually going to practice a script. On page 40, there's 6 steps to memorizing a script. Oh my goodness. And what I want us to do is tackle not that you ever have to say this, we're just doing this in class. Okay, at the top of 43, if you turn it sideways, there's a new to real estate. Hello, this is Stacy. Do you have a moment? I'd like to share the exciting news that I've become a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. With this new partnership, I have all their knowledge working for me. Plus, my clients get all my enthusiasm and hard work. I thought about sharing this with you because I knew you would be someone to help me grow my business. I like that last line because, when you say, I need you to help me, that's, soft and appealing. So the methodology that is recommended is you read the first sentence out loud 5 times. This is to yourself. I mean, but out loud, but repeat it, so you should have it down after 5 times. Repeat it with a smile on your face, because you know you sound more interesting when you're smiling. And then do the second, and anyway, so you can do this. So I would like to have a little contest, and well, let's try 5 minutes and see if we can do it. There are, I consider hello, this is so-and-so, do you have a moment as one sentence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically 5 sentences. And I want y'all to like go in different corners of the room and do your best to memorize this script, and then we're going to say it to each other. The point of this exercise is to prove you can do it, to prove that you get better the more you practice, and to prove that, well, you know, it really sounds pretty good. Because it is amazing when you memorize some of the scripts. It makes your job easier. Anyway, I'm going to set the timer. So
just that first part?
well, the whole new to real estate.
Right.
Yes, but now, not just, no, I want you to go in separate corners, because the instructions are to actually say it out loud 5 times, not just reading it.
Yeah. Feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Feel it.
You know, with your, but like face the wall so you won't feel funny. You know, talk to the wall for now, and okay, the clock is ticking.
Do you mind if I say it in my head? I'm better if I say it in my head versus when I say it out loud. I'm gonna say it out loud, but when I practice, I need to say it in my head. Thanks for understanding.
Hello, this is Kia. We have a moment. I'd like to share the exciting news that I have from real estate.
This new partnership, I have all their knowledge.
This new partnership, I have all the knowledge. Plus my clients
Thought
get
about
all my
sharing this with
enthusiasm
you
and
because I
hard
knew
work.
you would be someone to
Thought
help me
about
grow
sharing
my
this with
business.
you because I knew you would be someone to help me grow my business.
Hello, this is Andrew. Do you have a moment? I'd like to share the exciting news that I've become a real estate agent with Keller Williams
Yeah,
Realty.
become a real estate
With this new
agent.
partnership, I have all their knowledge working for
With
me.
this partnership,
Plus my clients get all my enthusiasm.
plus my clients.
I thought about sharing this with you because I knew you would be
I thought about
someone to
sharing
help me
this
grow my
with you
business.
because I knew you would be someone to help me grow
Hello,
my
this is Andrew. Do you have a moment? I'd like to
Hello,
share
this is
the
Takia.
exciting
Do you
news
have
that
a
I've
moment?
become a
I'd like
real
to share
estate
the
agent
exciting
with
news
Keller
that I've
Williams
become a real
Realty.
estate agent with Keller
With this new
Williams Realty.
partnership, I have all their knowledge
With this
working for
partnership,
me.
I have
Plus
all
my
their
clients
knowledge
get all my
Plus,
enthusiasm and
my
hard
clients
work.
get all my
Thought about
enthusiasm
sharing
and
this
hard
with
work.
you because I knew you would
I thought
be
about sharing
someone to
this
help
with
me
you
grow
because
my
I knew you
business.
would be someone to help me grow my business. Hello, this is Takia. Do you have a moment? I'd like to share my exciting
Hello, this is
news that
Andrew.
I've
Do you have a
become a real
moment?
estate
I'd like to
agent with
share
Keller
the
Williams
exciting
Realty.
news that I've become a
With
real
this
estate
new
agent with
partnership,
Keller
I have all
Williams
their knowledge
Realty.
working for me. Plus, my clients get all my enthusiasm and hard work. I thought about sharing this with you because I knew you would be someone to help me grow my business.
With this new partnership, I have all their knowledge working for me.
What's ready?
Okay.
I know you're ready.
Well,
Perfection is not the goal.
yeah. And I mean, whenever you're on a call, you can always have this to
Exactly.
reference.
But, for the calls, yes. But when it comes to, for the buyer presentation and the listing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that you don't want to be reading from the script
Well, yeah.
in front of people. And I gave y'all, yeah, gave you a copy of that. Okay, I mean, the 5 minutes is up and I'd like to stay on track, so which of you wants to go?
I mean, I can go for it.
All right, well, I wanna make sure AJ's ready.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
All right. Hello, this is Andrew. Do you have a moment? I'd like to share with you the exciting news that I'm a new real estate agent with Keller Williams. With this partnership, I have their knowledge
Working.
working for me.
Mhm.
That's about it that I got. Plus, my clients get all my enthusiasm and hard work.
Okay. All right, but read that last sentence, because that's,
I thought about sharing this with you because I knew you would be someone to help me grow my business.
because that's the message you want to get across. That's, you know, the rest of it is light, you know, but this is the meat.
Mm-hmm.
But very good effort, very good effort. AJ?
Hello, this is AJ. Do you have a moment? Okay,
Sure.
well, I wanted to just share with you that I recently joined Keller Williams Realty as a real estate agent, and I wanted to let you know that I have acquired all the knowledge that Keller Williams has, and I wanted to share the enthusiasm with you about Keller Williams, and I knew that you would be someone that would be able to help me grow my business.
Okay. Because you did not follow the script, some of the things that you said ended up sounding more self-serving than you probably would have wanted. For instance, I'm calling so you can help me with my business. You said, I've acquired all the knowledge. With this new partnership, I have all their knowledge working for me. You know, so all that to say, there's benefit to doing it just like it's written. I mean, I gave y'all 5 minutes. But, I mean, your tonality and enthusiasm, I mean, I probably should just close my eyes. Both of y'all sounded, you know, but very pleasant, very, yeah, I want to talk to you, and, you know, so we're also going to have for homework another small script to memorize. But, you know, the thing is, it pays you back in spades. Once you have it memorized, you have it, and you're just confident. You know what to say, and you know how to start up a conversation. So it's a real confidence builder. So, ready?
Am I
They've
reading?
already gone.
I'm not reading it. I'm saying it.
Uh-huh.
I am reading
No, you're.
it. But
I mean, you can
going
you
to the
can look over
restroom,
it.
baby.
we weren't perfect, so it's no pressure. Just right to let you know.
Andrew got about,
Halfway.
yeah,
maybe.
well, 65% of the way through.
Okay. Hello, my name's Takia. Do you have a moment? I'd like to share some exciting news with you that I've become an agent with Keller Williams Realty. I have all of their knowledge. God, I can't remember any of it.
Yes, it's not as easy
With this
as
partnership. Okay. With this partnership, I have all of their knowledge and my enthusiasm. Oh gosh,
Mhm.
I can't remember.
I know. But, okay, as you struggle with it, and then you go back and you look at the script and go, well, it makes a lot more sense the way they wrote it.
It does. It does.
Okay, tonight, I gave all of y'all this one that says script for calling your database. Now, I do not want you to memorize the whole thing.
Wait, which one is this thing?
It's a loose piece of paper.
Right here.
Was it in the front?
No.
Yeah,
she-
it was like
you
where
have to go
the
separate, right?
Instructor evaluation. I didn't give.
This?
Yes.
It might be up under your binder because it was sitting on the side. I don't think so.
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't have one. Thank you.
Okay. First, I want us to read through it. This is something that Bonnie wrote. I like it. Most people like it. And you'll see as we read through it. Andrew, read up until where she has pause. Now, the
Okay.
assumption is you're calling somebody you already know, and it might be a friend, and so you right off the bat, you want them to know you're not calling to chit chat. So,
Hello. The reason I'm calling today is a professional one. You may not be aware, but currently there are many more buyers out there than there are properties for sale. I'm calling on the behalf of my buyers who can't find what they're looking for. You may or may not know the answer to this question. Who do you know who may be planning to upsize or downsize in the near future?
okay, the magic there, when you say, you may or may not know the answer to this question, it takes the pressure, okay, it's okay if I don't have the answer, or an answer. So it's a calming to your listener. AJ, read the two bullets, even though it's an either or, and down to where we've got converse about that in brackets.
Okay. Thanks for taking the time to think about it. Can you do me a favor? When you do hear of someone, would you keep me top of mind and call me? Or you could say, thank you so much for the referral. I'll reach out to them today.
And the next little bit.
While I have you on the phone, what are your real estate plans for 2018? Also, are you considering any investment properties or have a need for a commercial property?
Okay. The highlights there, of course, we'll update this really from now through February. We say, what are your real estate plans for 2019? It never hurts to ask people, maybe thinking about doing something, but they're just not saying it out loud. It's still in their head. So this is an opportunity to pull it out. Back up to, notice she had pause, and then thanks for taking time to think about it. Can you do me a favor? When you do hear of someone, would you keep me top of mind? I'm not comfortable with that way of saying it. Would you
Keep me in mind?
Yeah, keep me in mind and call me. Now, where she's going with that is, it is your chances of getting the business are greater if this person gives you their friend's contact information and you reach out to them than if they say, oh, okay, well, I'll give them your business card. You know, you can't express warmth, professionalism. It's better to be in the driver's seat at all times. So we're trying to, even instead of would you keep me in mind, when you do hear of someone, would you call me with their contact information, and I'll make, I hate to use contact too many times, but you know, I'd like to just make contact with them. Something like that. Then below that, or have a need for commercial property. There are plenty of people that either they or someone they know needs to lease, and in commercial, it's sales and leases. Our commercial division over here, I mean, just does tons of, whether it's office building, a warehouse, a storefront, and trust me, you will run across people that they're not buying or selling their home, but they or somebody they're close to needs to rent a warehouse. We don't do commercial transactions ourselves. It's a completely different search tool and stuff. It's not FMLS and all that stuff. We will get Charlie Lockwood, the head of commercial, to pair you up with an appropriate commercial guy. He will get 25% of the commission just by making the introduction. And commercial deals are big. So start, train yourself to say, do you know anybody that has any commercial real estate needs? You'd be surprised at how many people do, and it's okay if it's just a lease instead of a purchase. It's same thing to them. More money. Okay, now this bottom paragraph that I want you to read, Takia, is really good. First of all, I don't think this is going to be necessarily your first phone call to people in your database where you're just introducing them to the fact that you just got into real estate. This is kind of maybe a second call because you're going into quite some depth and it's a little more lengthy. But I love what she's got here. Take it away, Takia. When people invest.
When people invest in the stock market, they periodically.
Pause. Sorry, my bad. After we're talking about the need for commercial, then start with that sentence above.
Okay.
Friend.
Stacy, as a professional courtesy, I want to offer something to you that I have found to be of high value. When people invest in the stock market, they periodically like to check in to see how their stocks are doing, correct? Well, often we miss checking on your large investment, our home. I'd like to create a client portal for you. I'd like to create a client portal for you of your neighborhood. The tracker comes to you once a week on a Friday morning. You will get notifications only if there are the new listings or new closings to report. And you will be able to look at the property photographs, which allows you to see what improvements your neighbors are making, such as kitchen and bath updates. This tool helps you keep on eye.
An eye.
This tool helps keep an eye on what's happening around your investment. May I set this up for you? Okay. Once you start receiving it, let me know how you like it, okay? Thanks for taking the time to talk with me today. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Okay. The people that I have done this with, I would say 9 out of 10 or better we all want to know what our neighbor's house sold for.
Right.
And you want to see the pictures. So
Because you always want to know what somebody else's house looks like.
exactly, especially if you're thinking about renovating a room or something. There's lots of mileage that you can get off of this concept. And on Thursday, when we go through the FMLS Matrix Basics, Kevin is going to teach you how to create such a portal. I mean, basically you create a search and turn it into a portal. And oh my goodness, so once we make just our introductory calls to people we know, let them know we're in real estate, we're excited, and you can even say, oh, that state exam was so hard, I didn't think I was going to pass, but whatever, just the chatty stuff that makes you, will make you human. And you could say, do you know anybody? Not, do you know anybody? Nope. You don't want to ask a question that can be answered yes or no, because then it's over. Who do you know? And I always like to say, in your neighborhood, at your office, whatever, you're tickling their brain, to think of places where they might know people that need to buy or sell. So start with those kind of calls. But then the second time you call somebody, now obviously if they are renting, it's not the same, although if they're renting a house or townhouse condo that, as opposed to an apartment building, you can still set the portal up for them because they might really like where they're renting and want to buy someday.
Yeah.
They may have their eye on a neighborhood they want to move into. So don't talk yourself out of it just because they're renting. Now, and if they're in an apartment complex, I would come back with, well, if you could buy, where would you want to buy? You may get, like I said, 1 out of 10 people say, I just don't think I'd be interested. They're probably not very interesting. Anyway, but so the beauty of it, you set it up, and I have mine come to the people on Friday mornings, because you're rolling into the weekend, and that's when you're going to kind of take time to look at personal stuff. On that email, it is branded to you. Not only will it'll say, AJ sent you an email from FMLS Matrix or something like that. Then when they click on the link to open it, your picture and a banner, and it's all like you got it that morning and sent it. So, and every week that email for the rest of y'all's lives, that's part of a drip campaign, and you set it and let it go. The only time it doesn't work is if, and I have done this, I've created for some of those introverted clients of mine, and if they don't click the link to go into it, even just for the first time within 30 days, it dies. So you might, after you set it up, maybe the next week, text or call them and say, hey, did you check out that link? Prompt them to do it, because then
it'll keep it going.
Exactly. I know agents that just have hundreds of these things set up. It's free. This is free marketing.
I like free marketing.
And you're coming from contribution, you're giving. Oh, what a beautiful thing. So, we're going to go to town with that one. So, how about, for homework, we do down to the bracket, converse about that.
Wait, to remember?
Yes. But Wednesday, you got until Wednesday.
Oh.
No, yeah, not now. Lord, no. No, we did our kind of dress rehearsal. Can you do it?
This is a lot of homework, teacher. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
All right, we're gonna review at the end what we've got.
I'm
Okay,
just kidding, Stacy. This is all good.
okay. Now, on page 45, and it is that magic time for you guys to call folks for, I'll say 15 minutes. On page 45, it says, call until you make contact with at least 3 people, which is what I said, and recite your script or read your script. Your goal is to get at least 1 referral. Either they need your services or they know of somebody. And then, while we're at it though, has everybody got their mobile app all claimed? Did we do that, AJ, with your
Mhm.
okay. All right. So that's another thing you can say. I mean, this really can be such an easy exercise. You call people, hey, I just wanted to tell you, I just got my license, I'm with Keller Williams, and go ahead and say Atlanta Perimeter, and something else, and then, hey, let me send you my mobile app, and tell me how you like it. Now, I will tell you, people may say, oh, I've already got the Zillow app. You may get pushback, because there are other apps out there. I would say, will you just do this for me? Will you just at least look at it and tell me what you think? And then you can delete it. So, if they're a friend of yours, But I have had people say, I don't need your another mobile app, I've already got 3 on my phone, kind of thing. So that, reality. So between offering mobile app, just your enthusiasm, and even I wouldn't offer to set them up on the client portal today, since you hadn't even learned how to go into Matrix. But okay, I'm gonna set the timer. You can leave the room if you're more comfortable.
Are we memorizing something?
No. You're gonna
Oh,
call.
okay.
You're gonna make 3 calls. You're gonna call 3 different people, just from your phone that and try to tell them that you're in real estate. So you can't call the coworkers that already know.
They are.
Right, and a lot of your people, but you get a little bit out of your comfort zone and call somebody that doesn't already know. People like to talk about real estate. They may go, what made you do that? Or, well, how's it going? And I'm in this class, I'm learning a lot. You can do this.
I was
So-
there till 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because Terry set up an appointment with me, but she did it for 1:30. She knew I started Matrix.
Yes,
today,
she
so-
may not have known, you wanna text her?
Yeah.
Which did you want us to do, this script or this script?
Today, whichever you're more comfortable with. And you don't have to use any script. They're mostly the concept of, I'm new to real estate,
Mhm.
I'm with Keller Williams.
I gotta build up some people that I know. I feel like I don't know anybody.
Okay, that is what you call a limiting belief. So I want you to restate that. Positive. Okay, you said, I feel like I don't know anybody. I am going to, what are you gonna do so that you,
I'm gonna meet more people in Georgia.
okay?
That's what I'm gonna do. Cause I'm looking through my phone, I'm like, Alabama.
Yeah, that's how I am too.
That's the only
Everybody
thing.
that I have contacts for in Georgia already know.
Okay.
Talk to them.
Here's what I would say. This week, which is our first of 4 weeks, call your out of town people.
Okay.
Practice with comfortable people. Practice having conversation with people you know that don't even live here. It's not wasted.
Okay.
It's really not. So call friendly people. And I will tell you that you don't have to take all this in right now, but we're also going to teach you how to talk to your out-of-town peeps, so they if they know somebody that needs to buy or sell in their city, you can find a great Keller Williams agent for them and get a referral fee, 25%. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All over the world. Keller Williams just announced we now have an office in Trinidad and Tobago. So, going crazy. So yes, and move about the room, go in the hall, but I'm doing 15 minutes, 3 outgoing calls. And if you just go answer machine, answer machine, answer machine, try a little harder to actually connect. But you have my encouragement to call safe people this first week that you're comfortable with.
I don't know why she did that.
And I'm making calls.
So 1:30?
A little after.
Okay.
Hey Sally, it's Stacy Stubbs. How are you? For once, I am not calling you because I'm in pain. Oh, I have actually sort of figured out a new way to walk. I tell myself I lead with my kneecaps, and that keeps my legs, femurs turned in, which is really helping. Of course, I feel like my left hip is swinging out again, so I got on the tower this morning. But anyway, all is pretty much okay, and I am calling to see if you are at all thinking about trying to move in closer. You did mention that once upon a time, closer into the office. I also am curious if you are thinking about changing office buildings there on Glen Ridge. And I saw that you were at the beach with your precious kids. And
Hi Claudia, this
pictures.
is
I
Andrea,
don't like
your
beach
old
pictures.
neighbor at Almond
So,
Creek.
my
I wanted to
friend, I
reach out
just
to you to let
wanna
you
hear
know
that you're doing
that
okay, and,
I have become a real estate agent with
Oh,
Keller
by the
Williams
way,
Realty,
I've never too
and
busy
I
for you
now
to do
have all of their
referrals.
knowledge
So
working
if
for
you know
me.
with anybody,
My clients do get all my
you know
enthusiasm
what,
and
stop.
hard work,
I would be
and I just
so
wanted
honored.
to
I'm
share
trying
this
to
exciting
build up my
information with you
pipeline
because
of
I knew you would be someone
people to help
to help
in
me grow my
2019.
business.
So
If you have any
please
questions
keep me in
about
mind.
real estate or anything
And,
like that, please consider me.
you take
Once
care,
again, this is
and,
Andrea, your old neighbor at Almond Creek.
text or call me
Have a
sometime.
good day, and I look
Love
forward to
you.
hearing from
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Stacy, that was an answer machine?
But I didn't really know this person. She was
I
actually
was
like
that
my
was so awesome.
physical, she's kind of my physical therapist.
I felt so weird. Can I just say that? Because I'm like, who do I call? Who do I call? Who do I call? So I called an old neighbor. I left a message on her answering machine.
That is
That's
perfect.
And it sounded really good.
Did it really?
Yeah, it did. I was
Oh my
listening.
goodness.
Terry hasn't texted me back yet, but you
Well,
you
I didn't
know
want to
Terry?
text. I wanted to call because
and
sometimes like
I'll pop over there because I know where she is.
Thank you.
Okay,
I don't want to lose my.
you clearly have a you have a wall of panic.
I feel like now that I got that one over with, okay. It took me 5 minutes to find who to call. Did you not see me scrolling? In my
No,
phone
I was
over
talking
here?
to the wall over here.
You weren't talking to the wall. You were. And I was over here like, which script? Which script? Oh, here we go. All right, that was one person.
There you go. There you go. Let me go see Terry. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
like, who am I gonna call?
Right.
That I won't sound silly to, like, hey. Let's see here.
Hi, Karma. How are you? I'm great. This is Takia. Do you have a moment? I'd like to share the exciting news that I have become a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. With this new partnership, I have all their knowledge working for me, plus my clients get all my enthusiasm and hard work. I thought about sharing this with you because I knew you would be someone to help me grow my business. Oh wait, where's my other script? Dang it. I lost my other script. Okay. So, no, I don't.
Hi, Tony. This is
Okay,
AJ.
so-
Do you have a moment?
Yes. Can you do me a favor? If you do hear
I'd
someone
like to share
with a
some
real
exciting
estate
news
need,
that I have become a
will you
real
keep me
estate
in mind?
agent with Keller Williams. So it's just a professional reason that I'm calling.
I have a mobile app, and if you like,
Now,
you
you
can download
may not
my
be
app to
aware,
your
but
phone,
currently there
or
are
I
many
can
more
send you an
buyers
email
out
if you want
there
an email address.
than there are properties for sale. And I'm calling on behalf of my
Okay,
buyers who
great.
can't
What's your
find what
email
they're
address?
looking for. You may not know the answer to the question right now, but who do you know that might be planning to
All right,
upsize or downsize
great.
in the near future?
Well, thank you so much for your time and your help, and please let me know if there's anything I can ever do for you.
Okay. Well, thanks for taking
Thank
the
you,
time to
Carla.
think about it, but can you do me a favor?
All right, talk to you
When
later.
you do hear of
Bye.
someone, would you keep me basically like at the top of your list and call me so that way I can just kind of reach out to them personally and let them know what options I have through Keller Williams. Okay, well, thank you so much. And while I have you on the phone, what are your real estate plans for 2018, 2019? And are you currently considering any type of investment properties or have a need for commercial property? Okay. Well, what I'll do, I'll be sending you out my mobile app, and that does help you look at all types of properties, including rental properties, okay? All right, well, thanks for taking my call today, Tony, and have a good day. Bye.
Was that a friend?
No, it's actually my current boss.
I love it.
He was like, hello, what, you ain't coming to work today?
Okay, you're not coming to work today?
I had to stay in character. I'm like, the reason I'm calling today is the professional.
I love it. So I got 2. I love it. We're only doing 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, Ernest. So do you have a moment? I'd like to share the exciting news that I have become a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty.
With this new partnership, I have all their knowledge working for me, plus my clients get all my enthusiasm and hard work. I thought about sharing this with you because I knew you would be someone to help me grow my business. I know you are. So, have you received my app? Did you download it? Oh, okay. I thought I sent it to you, but I'll send it to you again. I'll text it to you, and then you can just download it to your phone. So, and it's free. It's nothing that's going to charge you or anything like that. Okay. Tomorrow. No, Tuesday through Friday. That sounds great. So thank you for your time and help, and please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Okay.
How do you send the app?
You have to go in it,
You
and there's a
just-
share app.
Yep, it's a share app at the bottom.
Perfect.
Hello, this is Takia. Do you have a moment? I'd like to share the exciting news that I've become a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. With this new partnership, I have all their knowledge working for me. Plus my clients get all my enthusiasm and hard work. I thought about sharing this with you because I knew you would be someone to help me grow my business. First, I'd like to share my real estate
Hi,
app with you.
this
You can see
is
what's going
Andrea
on.
giving you a call. I just wanted to share some
Anywhere, from
exciting
your
news that
street
I
to
have
any
become a
place in
real
North
estate agent
America.
with
It's
Keller
free.
Williams
There's no cost
Realty.
to you.
With this
I
new
can send you a text
partnership,
so
I
you
have
can
all
the
their
link.
knowledge working
Does that
for
sound
me.
good?
Plus, my clients get all
And I
my
like to ask,
enthusiasm
who
and
might
hard
you-
work. I thought about sharing this
who
with
might
you
you
because
know
I
from
knew you
work,
would be
your
someone to help
neighborhood,
me
or a
grow my
group?
business.
You might
So
belong to
what I'm
who's
going to
interested in
do
buying and
is send
selling
you
or
a
selling a
free
home or
link
investing
to
in
my
real
real estate app, and
Can't
there you
think
can
of
see
anyone
what's
right
going
now?
on anywhere from your street to
Yeah,
any
thanks.
place in North
You can
America.
take a moment and think
And
about it.
I'll just send you a text link with that information.
Mhm.
If you have any
I
questions,
have a
please
wealth
don't
of interesting
hesitate
and
to give
timely
me a call,
information about the
and
real
I'll be more
estate
than
market
happy
in
to
your
meet with
area.
you for any
And I
other
love to send it to
concerns.
you.
Have a
Let me
great
make
day,
sure
and again, this
I
is
have your
Andrea.
current email
Bye-bye.
address. Is it? K Carter at gmail.com. Okay, great. And do me a favor, please, if you do hear of someone with a real estate need, will you keep me in mind? Okay. Thank you. And after you download the app and try it out, send me a text and let me know how you like it. Thank you so much for your time and help, and please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. All right. Bye. Thank you.
That was good. Send me a text. Let me know how you like it.
It's on here.
Where? I hadn't read the whole thing yet.
It's on this side.
I'm still on box 1. Okay, down at the bottom.
So, like, after I said this part, then I went over here to this part.
See, I just need to go home and I just need to read the whole thing so I know where I'm going with this. Did you get anybody on your call?
Yeah, I called 3 people.
You did? Okay.
Sent them all the app just now, but they're all people in Florida.
Well, I did call 2 people in Georgia and then 1 person in Florida, but because of his membership in a fraternity, like, he knows pretty much everybody in every state. Like, he has a contact person. So I was like, okay, this is a good person to call. Because he's always telling me when I'm going places, oh, you should call this person for this person for that. So I need him to be the contact when some of his friends need to buy a house.
I actually called one of my old friends from high school, and he lives in Connecticut now. So,
Oh, really?
wow.
yeah, so I was like, what? So, I don't think that'll go anywhere, but.
Well, he might know somebody here.
Yeah, maybe. Or that referral,
I don't know. Y'all, I'm so excited but nervous at the same time. Like, if that makes any sense.
It
I don't
does.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm more excited because I
Excitement and
finally got
nerves
all
are
that
the
over
same.
with. Yeah, and it's now like I just want to get the first deal over with. Like, that's my next goal. Like, get a deal closed. And I feel like after that, I'll have a new something that I'll probably be excited and nervous about. But I don't know. And I'm not even a nervous person. Like, I talk to people all the time. I don't know. Hello, this is Andrea. Hi. The reason that I was calling today is a professional one. You may not be aware, but currently there are many more buyers out there. Wait a minute. Let me start over. Sorry. Hi. Do you have a moment? Thank you. I'd like to share the exciting news that I have become a real estate agent with Kelly Williams Realty.
So she wants you to
Thank
come
you.
there. She does?
Yes,
3 of
with
her
this new
appointments.
partnership, I have all of their knowledge working
So
for
you
me.
may have to
Plus,
book
my
another
clients
day.
get all
So
of my
she wants you to come
enthusiasm
to her.
and hard work. And I
Okay.
thought about sharing this
Rewrite
with
2
you because I
notes
knew you would
to
be
people.
someone to help me grow
That's
my
just
business.
like
So first, Tamika, if it's okay, I would like to share my
It's
real estate
okay.
app with you.
I know.
And you can see what's going on anywhere from your street to any place in North America. And of course, it's a free app, so it's no cost to you. Is that okay if I send you a text link with that information?
And it can be somebody you talk to or
Thank
just
you.
somebody who's daddy you want to bless. Because this is like a little.
Yes, thank you so much. So what I'll do, I'll send you the link and then I'll follow up with you
It was
maybe
crazy for us to import
when I leave
my
class
contacts.
just to see,
But,
how you
I didn't,
liked
get
it.
to
Would that
the,
be okay?
Newsletter part.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you so
We're
much.
gonna do
Well,
that
have a
in class
good day and
someplace.
I'll talk to you soon.
That's
Okay?
perfect.
That is
All
our
right.
topic
Bye-bye.
du jour. 2 notes to whether you talked to them or did you reach anybody? And was it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. And my feeling is 3 sentences is enough. On a note, just your so-and-so's great talking to you today. Really excited about real estate.
I got another one calling back. Can I answer?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, this is AJ.
I have Stacey, I don't know if you remember me telling you that.
Hey, Franklin,
I
the
didn't pass
reason
my
that I
exam the
called
first
you
time,
today,
so I missed out
it was a
on
professional
my
one. Did you
cousin
have a quick
purchased
moment
at
for
home,
me?
And I had to give it to a friend, but it helped out because my
Okay,
friend
well, I just wanted to
is,
call you and share the
Williams
exciting
agent.
news with you
She's one who's
that I've become a real estate
called
agent
her.
with
Yeah.
Keller Williams
So,
Realty.
I was able
And
to
with
help
the
her
new
out.
partnership, I have all of their knowledge
just
working
texted
for me. Plus,
So
my
anyway,
clients
so
get
I
all
just-
of my
my cousin
enthusiasm
who
and hard hard work,
gave her,
and I thought about sharing this with you because I knew
I
you
called
would
her
be
as one of
someone
my
to help me
exercises.
grow my
But
business.
she and her
So
husband
my
are
first thing that I wanted to
interested
do was
in
just share my
buying,
real estate app with you,
they would
and
like to
from there
open
you
up a
can see what's
coffee
going
shop.
on from anywhere, your street to any
So,
place
when
in
you
North
get together
America, and it's a totally free
Terry,
app at no cost to you. Is
you
that
over
okay if
there.
I send you the text link?
You know where her office is? Okay.
Okay, perfect. So
We go
what
to the
I'll
store.
do, when I
The
send you
next
the
set of
information, I'll
double,
give you time to
like
look
glass
through it,
doors, that's
and
the
I'll
entrance
just
to the
follow up with
commercial
you sometime
division.
later
Okay.
this week, just to get some
Please
feedback,
go
see
ahead.
how you like it, because I
Go
have
ahead.
a wealth
To the
of
left,
information that I can share with
at
you
the
about it,
end,
and I think that's a good
turn
starting
left.
point when you just
Now,
look at the
I have
app.
to warn you.
Oh, no problem. And will you do me a favor? If you hear of someone with a real estate need, will you please keep me in mind and just send them my contact information, or really what you could do is call me, and I'll be sure to
wow.
personally get into contact with them.
But you could really think I'm walking in, to be honest.
Yes, I'm in a
order,
class right
and
now.
It's not
I just
that.
had to share
This
this
house is
information
not
with
like
you.
It's just a paper person.
Yes, we can, and I'll be sending you the
But-
text shortly, okay?
He is consistently using the top
Okay,
three
thank you so much.
sales,
All right.
every month, so.
Okay, I will.
Obviously, he's
All
still
right,
doing
bye-bye.
it. So, okay, tell us all.
All my friends so nosy. The conversation starts off like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I have to say, "Hi, the reason I was calling today was for a professional one."
That's hilarious.
Oh, but yeah, after I said that though, they really kind of tuned in. And I told them that I would
You
share
can
the
always
text
say,
link.
I'm in a class. I'm in a
Yeah.
class. Oh, the mobile link
Yeah, the mobile link. That's what I told everybody.
or the mobile app?
And then, cause I got this from my other classmate, cause I had not read all of this, and I heard her tell somebody that she would follow up with them to see how they liked the text link. So that's how I kind of closed the conversation, so I could go ahead and get off the phone. Like, I'll follow up with you later on.
Or you tell them to send you a text once they had a chance to
Yeah.
to view it.
Right, some type of closing
Yeah,
statement,
absolutely.
so I can go ahead and get on.
Yes,
that.
in general, with your conversations, as well as even once you start working with a client, before you get off the phone or say goodbye or part company, you want the last thing to be, here's what we're gonna do next, or here's what's gonna happen next, or I'll call you in 3 days. You know, then stay in the driver's seat. And so that was perfect.
Yeah.
Say,
sound
okay.
good.
And, because if we don't follow up, you know, they got other things to do. They're not sitting around thinking,
I gotta help her sell a house. Or, yeah.
now we wanna get to the point when we have a handful, as the Priya had, 5 raving fans that are just like so excited about our service and that they wanna, regularly. Let me tell you what my realtor did. Okay, I've got an example. Another realtor told this story. He was early on in the business and helping somebody, bought a house, and they were gonna go over, and he and his brother, and just bring them pizzas on moving day, nice gesture. He gets there and the wife is sitting on the front stoop in tears. What's wrong? What happened? And she was just overwhelmed. Her husband couldn't come home or couldn't get off work or whatever, and she had a baby, and she's like, who's gonna put my baby bed together for me or help me? So he and his brother, neither one of them had any children, and therefore had never put together a crib before. They took the pieces, they went up by the way, the first rule of thumb is don't assemble it outside the room, because you might not be able to get it through the door.
Right.
You always assemble a crib in the nursery.
Absolutely.
So they did it, and she was so relieved. Well, that woman has sent him so much business, because from then on, oh, you're the one that put Susie's crib together.
Because that's the story she tells with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, you want some of
That
those
personal
opportunities. Right, and really help them out
Yeah.
when it counts. And it actually doesn't have to be part of a transaction. You can help out somebody, with any particular need, but they will identify you with that help, that going above and beyond. Wasn't that cool?
I know who I'm
Yes.
gonna call.
Who?
Oh my goodness. Okay, short story. Can I tell it?
Mhm.
Okay, so I had a lady like about 2 weeks ago. No, it's probably been a month now. Who had made a reservation. Y'all know my side job. I work at Enterprise. She had made a reservation to get a rental car. So I get to her house. I pick her up. She's an older lady, and I talk to people, which is why I'm so shocked. Like, what am I doing? But I'm just like, hey, where you going?
You're gonna get into it.
Yeah, and she was like, oh, I'm thinking about driving to Miami, looking at the clock. I'm like, it's already 3 o'clock, like, are you sure? And she was like, well, I gotta get down there. Just some family stuff. She was going to see her sister-in-law. And she was like, I really want to catch a flight, but I'm waiting on Delta to call me back. They said I was number 12 in line. And I was like, you called Delta? I said, you didn't want to just go online? And she was like, oh, I don't know anything about that. They said it should be 5 more minutes. Well, I just get on my phone and I was like, do you want to leave tonight? She's like, yeah. I said, would 7:30 be okay? She's like, yeah. I said, you want to fly out of Atlanta? Yeah. So I sit there. In 2 minutes, I have the flight pulled up. And I say, you have your credit card with you? We can book the flight right now. So she's like, you're kidding.
Probably
I'm like,
about to cry.
right.
Yeah.
I'm like, no way. I said, I'm not kidding. This is the flight. You'll be in Miami by 9 o'clock. So she runs in the house, gets her credit card, and make a long story short, she didn't get the Enterprise card. 'Cause she didn't really need to drive to Miami. So she tells me, she's like, hey, when I get back, I'm going to make you some authentic Cuban food. We'll have lunch together. So I'm like, you don't have to do that. It's no big deal. I just want to make sure you're taken care of. So the lady calls me. This was 2 weeks ago. She calls me and she's like, hey, is AJ there? And so one of my coworkers gave me the phone. She's like, I know you don't remember me, but I'm back from Miami. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember you. So I go to her house. Like, she has a beautiful house. And she fixed, just like she said, this long, like a Thanksgiving spread of Cuban food for she and I. And I mean, she had like set the table out, and we took selfies. Like, she wanted to tell her daughter that I was the one who helped her. So
You are gonna be her realtor.
that's who I need to call and let her know. Hey, do you have a moment?
And even if she doesn't, if she's not ready to buy, guess what?
She
She's
knows
gonna plug
somebody.
you.
But
Yes.
she's your first rating
Yes.
fan.
Yes,
She
she
is.
Even prior to real estate.
And I know she knows people. Because all of
Absolutely.
my people are too young. Like, she is established.
No limiting beliefs.
Young
not gonna
people
limit
are,
them.
yeah,
That's
young
true.
people
They're
are
gonna get
really
stuff.
buying right now.
Yeah, but I need somebody that knows some people. And I
Well-
know she knows.
Yeah, she knows some
people.
people. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call her. Not right now, but I'm going to call her.
Excellent.
Well, you tell
Okay.
this story. That was an
We,
epiphany.
we are doing notes. We're running out of time. So I will let you take this home. But seriously, very sentences. Now, if you choose to put as your return address the office, which is fine, please put your name as well, because we have 300 plus agents, and if by chance we get returned mail, Angel doesn't know whose mail slot to put it in if you haven't put your name. So you can put your own return address, or you can put 115 Prince Center East.
Is it okay to put a card inside?
You're supposed to put a card inside.
Okay.
Some people even think you should put 2, because when you open up mail, you know how things can fall
Yeah.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so 1 or 2, 1 to keep, 1 to give.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You put, even when you are writing a thank you note to somebody, a legitimate thank you note, put your card in there. You know, it's just a gentle touch of, hey, I'm in business. Can you help me? You know, it's not offensive. So, okay. The 2 quick things. Turn over, if you would, to 5253. And I was saying to y'all earlier about, this is your new job, and that you need to get up, shower, dress, go to work. So Ignite gives you some sample calendars. This may be, is it Wednesdays? Is there a day that you have to go into Sprint?
It is Wednesday, but this Wednesday, I'll be working from home.
Wink, wink.
I'll be working from here like I'm doing today.
Okay, so on Ignite days, on the bottom of 52, suggested schedule. 6 to 7 would not be enough time for me to get up, walk the dog, read the Bible, shower, put on all this makeup, curl all this hair, and get out the door. We'd be needing more than an hour, but Andrew could probably do it.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend on your hair?
None.
Okay, so the suggestion is that you actually come into the office an hour before Ignite and get ready. Now, I know about Atlanta traffic, and this was written before Atlanta traffic. So, but to the degree that you can get here at least a little bit before class starts to get yourself organized and, you know, just set up, it's good habit. In this example, Ignite is running from 9 to 12, which is what it was when I took it, when we had that I-85 bridge collapse.
Yeah.
And that just killed track. That's when we shifted 10 to 1 because people just couldn't get here at, for 9 o'clock. But anyway, we liked it, 10 to 1. So, I mean, you can see what they've got. It's basically, work until 5 o'clock, or actually almost till 6. So if you stick to, the homework we're going to give it's like stuff you need to do anyway. It's just prompting you to do it. But really your homework is to do that daily 10-4 or 10-10-5, 10, because we want to end up with 200 in our EH database. The more property you preview, and it is fun, the better, the more knowledgeable you are. And the more knowledgeable you are, the more confident you'll be in talking to people. So obviously, that's all for your benefit. The notes set you apart from other agents because, oh, how thoughtful. Nobody writes handwritten notes. And you can be notes of encouragement, notes of gratitude, notes of, oh, I miss seeing you, whatever. They're just notes. So it doesn't have to always be about a phone call per se. And you can, in lieu of a phone call, if some people, you want to make sure they know you're in real estate, you can send them a little note, just keep it short. Because they will only read short. And then your 10 connections. That's going to be your most challenging, to get 50 of those a week. So, throughout this week, we're going to be talking about different ways to do that. I highly recommend that, unless you just love making phone calls, that you be thinking about, what else can I do? Where else can I go that I can be around people so I can have conversations about being a new agent? What else is going on in your life? Do you belong to anything? Or, of course, you got Enterprise.
I've been going to this new church, but that'll really kind of give me a reason to, branch out and talk. Because I just go attend and then I just go home. So I think that's a good place to start too.
Hopefully nice people. What does your husband do?
He's a banker.
Okay.
Now I know I could get a lot of business there, but I don't know how to not cross the lines between that.
Well, just start a conversation. That leads me to our last point. Turn over to page 61. Now, we want you to sign this, but I want you to, we're going to read it because I don't want you to sign it if you don't mean it. I commit to attending all Ignite sessions, unless I'm running a fever of 105. I commit to adding to my database 200 or more names and contact information as quickly as possible within the 30 days of this date agreement. I commit to lead generating, speaking with people about real estate, every day. That does not mean 7 days a week. It is at least 5 days a week, but you know, you could do work 2 half days, you know. There's no, you know, it has to be these days. I commit to making business calls during Ignite classes. Okay, we did it today. We didn't want to.
But we made it.
We made it, and let me tell you, the first time, with the person you talked to, or did you talk to more than one?
Talked to 2.
Any hope of a lead or business?
No.
Okay.
Both out of college with no jobs.
Okay, but the first
far away.
time that you get somebody on the phone and they say, oh yeah, my cousin, blah, blah, blah. Hello, you're gonna be so happy. And it just takes, you know, reaching out. Okay, I commit to completing my mission for each power session of Ignite. You do not have to check that because they're out of date. I commit to being prepared for my customers by memorizing and using scripts and sales language. So if you know, we're gonna do just some short ones. And you know what, that one that I gave you, let's push that off to not do until Friday. Okay? Because I mean, I don't, anyway. Okay? I commit to working on my 6 personal perspectives. Y'all can go back to that and review that. I commit to following a time-blocked calendar of activities throughout Ignite. In those calendars I was looking, it's where you actually go into your either paper or electronic and you, let's just say Monday through Friday. Okay, I am going to lead gen, like on a day that you have Ignite, you're gonna do a little bit of it, but you might need to pick maybe 2 more hours. And then on the days when you're not Ignite, are y'all necessarily working your other jobs on the days you're not in Ignite?
Mm-hmm.
Evenings. So it's challenging. If you want to find business though, and you want to be successful.
I do.
I know you do. Okay. Time blocking. I understand that I am developing success habits, and by agreeing to do this covenant, I agree to take control of my own business success, meaning it's on you. I have discussed the commitment of this covenant with those in my life who will be affected, husband, and they understand and have agreed to support me. So take this home, and you know, if you really disagree, don't sign it. It's your life, it's your business. But if you do, you're committing to make calls during Ignite. You really don't want to, and doing your daily at 4. Okay? So then, for homework, decide if you're gonna sign this.
And I feel like my husband should have to sign page 63.
Yes, I was gonna say, page 63 is for the family signature. Do you live with anybody else in your place?
Just a 10-year-old.
Ah, yes. They don't get a vote.
She thinks she does.
And Andrew, you're really on your own. I mean, you don't need your dad to sign this.
No.
Okay. So we, yes, so sign those. The pages I told you for the big Y. I mean, and that is just, it's your own, and let me tell you, your big Y will evolve. And ultimately, figure out how much you'd like to make so that we can work backwards and figure out how many transactions that's gonna take, and then that can let you know how many appointments you need, and so it's your roadmap, and whatever, it's your choice. So we are done today. I know it was a long day. On Wednesday, what we're going to be doing is, for the most part, working on our database. So please bring your laptops charged. We're gonna enter some names, even onesie. I'd love it if you could bring 5 that you haven't already entered, that we can do a batch import. Have you already done all yours? Well, you can even try to come up with, add people that are out of town, and make sure we put everybody on a campaign. Just basically making sure everything about the edge is.
That's what I'm.
People got my campaign letters, I think yesterday, and they were all emailing me back like, "What is this? Why are you sending this to me?"
I haven't sent anything.
Okay, so
What?
How did you handle it?
Down in my.
I just said that it's I was like, it's just automatically generated to, remind me that I'm a real estate agent. I was like, I can take you off if you want. Everybody's like, no, I just didn't know what it was.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
They said no.
Yeah, so everybody's still on.
Okay, now I would say that the antidote to that, the way to preempt that, is that you maybe do a text blast.
Yeah, I thought it was the first of the month, so I thought it wasn't going to go out until like November.
Oh no, they're in the campaign. It gives the specific dates that they're going out. Yes, so for any of y'all that haven't done, this was Andrew's experience. He has people on a campaign, and so the first email went out to people that he hadn't warned that they were going to be getting something. So at least telling people, I'm a realtor, I'm with Keller Williams.
As soon as I have my mobile app, I start texting everybody. Like,
right, okay, thank you. I need you to fill out your instructor evaluation. And so really it's just figure out how much money you make. You don't even have to, I think that was pretty simple exercise. Do y'all need me to point out the pages again?
I folded.
I don't know, yeah, I made notes on them.
Okay. And
We turn this in now?
yes, please.
Okay. I'm gonna run to the restroom.
Okay.
Don't peek at it.
I'm not looking. Okay.
This is anonymous.
Now, we will have more people than 3 in subsequent classes.
But we'll still be your favorite, right?
Obviously.
In Lynn. Oh yeah, y'all are the supremo, the other people are just ne'er-do-wells. But anytime, during the week or when we're not in class or something, you can ask me questions. I hope y'all all have my phone number. Do you have a contact for me? If not, I've got cards here, but I can also share my contact. Do you already have it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
All right, I'll share my contact with you.
I've got your number, Stacy. You know, we text.